Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Fableforge RPG Live here on this Tuesday night with Red Opera episode 8. Is it 8 already? 8. Man, with a standard 4-week month, that's 2 months of D&D sessions. That's amazing. I love it. So excited to be here with you all. Thank you for joining us tonight. We hope that you are tucked in, you have your snacks, you have your drinks, and you're ready for what is sure to be another fun, incredible session with my amazing players. Thank you all. Unfortunately, as you may have noticed, Sammy, our very own T.O.R. and sometimes Phelan, is not with us this evening, but he will be back next week. Just has some things to take care of. So, Sammy, I hope that you get at some point to watch this because this is going to be interesting for you as well. Let's see. Any announcements? Don't forget Extra Life. Invite your friends. We have a Patreon. Do the sub thing. Patronic inspiration to help out your most favorite players and characters or hurt your least favorite DM. And that is really everything in a nutshell. So, do you guys? I didn't ask as always. Do y'all have any announcements? Did I miss anything? No? Maybe? Okay. All right. Well, with all that being said, let's jump into some D&D. So, my friends, you found yourselves, by virtue of the Patron's Pass bridge, to the Scarlet Hearth. Along the way, you were, I don't want to say assaulted, but you had a run-in with a young thief attempting to earn their stripes, as it were, at the behest of Alios, a apparent master of sorts of thieves who seems to have taken control of Patron's Pass and maybe even the surrounding area. But once you recovered this item and confronted Alios, you decided, instead of heading on to the tavern where you're supposed to find Wretch, the familiar of one of these Evermore warlocks, who you're currently looking into as possibly being part of the time anomalies happening here in Yonkath, you decided to go back on the bridge to visit the Scarlet Hearth, as that was a destination you wanted to come to en route to yonder. So doubling back, you made your way, you found the bridge that leads off of the bridge, the solitary bridge that leads solely to the Scarlet Hearth here, where you encountered some of the guards and they gave you a little run around, try to mess with you a little bit, shake you down, have some fun, as they put it. But thanks to Tior's quick thinking and Ona's fierce intimidation, you're able to come out unscathed and not missing anything except perhaps a little bit of precious time. Coming back outward onto the bridge, walking down, there was this pulse of magnificent arcane energy streaking up into the sky, interacting with the glorious aurora that's always present here in the Shadelands above, pulsing out energy. And then this peculiar rainfall started to drift down and touch your shoulders. Hurrying along to the bridge, you come up to the edge of this semicircular courtyard. The courtyard itself, the cobblestones here are kind of this muted rust-colored red, although finely crafted and placed in. The Scarlet Hearth itself, the temple to all the patrons here in Yonkath, rises up kind of like a multi-level pyramid. It goes up on one level, then flattens out, then goes up triangular again for 2, and then flattens up on the top. And there's spires on either side. You see a couple of statues of perhaps known or unknown patrons, depending on who's looking at them, but none of them, a little bit of word vomit, none of them seem to be more prominently displayed or larger or more glorious than any of the others. They seem to be all kind of on equal footing, maybe a dozen of them here in the front, with columns behind them, presenting this nice facade of a well-built, respectable, important, but relatively simple temple. Coming through the doors, right after this pulse shoots up and the rain comes down, you see this beautiful elvish woman with this magnificent green armor and this glorious shield, striding confidently towards the middle of the courtyard, looking around, and her eyes rest upon your group. As her eyes rest upon your group, you see, even at this distance, an eyebrow cocks up in a curious gaze, looking directly at you, or maybe through you. Can't be quite sure. From behind you on your right, you hear, now coming up behind, heavy metal footsteps. Glancing over your shoulder, you would immediately see and recognize the knight captain himself of the accursed guard and two of his soldiers with him, walking steadily and quickly next to you, directly towards this elvish woman. As her gaze shifts, you realize that it was not you she was looking at, in fact, but it was the knight captain, LaCroix himself. As they come together, they seem to be a friendly acquaintance, a familiarity. As they converse, the people around you milling about, going about their everyday life, reminding you here there are accursed guards scattered throughout, guarding the premises, making sure nothing bad happens. There are several pilgrims coming to either beseech or do favors for their patrons. It's a populated area. You begin steadily walking towards the front doors now, more cognizant after that initial burst by the elvish woman out, cognizant of the rain and that you have a mission here. You have things you want to do at the Scarlet Hearth. Begin walking towards the door. As you're getting within maybe an arm's reach of these individuals, the scene changes. There's this quick cross filter of time and space, one that you are unfortunately somewhat accustomed to now. Everything goes instantly dark red. Black billowing smoke starts to fill the air around you. The individuals next to you, Knight Captain, stays in place, as does the elvish woman, but now you can see they have their weapons drawn, a fierce look of aggression on their faces. They are scarred, they are beaten, they are bloody, and they are fighting each other tooth and nail. There is this chorus suddenly as the sound kicks in around you, this chorus of battle. There is arcane artillery shooting through the air and slamming from yonder to Cathrak overhead. Around you, the cobblestone is exploding and bodies are flying. There's malevolent atrocities of malformed aberrations bursting into life, being summoned forth, or maybe in rips in the veil themselves. There's soldiers now, accursed guard, facing you, protecting the entrance to the temple, which is now grated, and you see all these crimson vines shoot up all over it, and the arcane energy crackling through the mountains behind it, pulsing and glowing fervently. But on your side, facing them, wearing the same type of now different armor the Knight Captain is wearing, it is mostly crimson with white details rather than the dark black with scarlet details. They are fighting against the accursed guard. The Knight Captain at the fore, the elvish woman there fighting against him. And suddenly, two of these accursed guard notice you. I need everybody to roll for initiative.
No thanks.
I'm not ready for this. Teal got a 6 on his initiative.
Okay.
Ona got a 13.
I got a 12.
Katori has a 21.
Mira got a solid 7.
Oh, thank God. I got an 8.
Mira's, okay. Mira's a 7. Phelan, you said I had a 13?
I had a 12.
12, sorry. All right. Seven. Mira's a 7. All right. So, what was Tior's initiative again? I didn't have his token on here.
A 6.
A 6. Okay. We add his token for fun. All right. So, Ona, you see this scene, you take it in. You notice that the accursed guard and these other forces led by the Knight Captain are in mortal combat. You seem to notice that all these individuals fighting, that they're kind of more on your side. You're kind of in a battle line with them, They're all pushing and shouting, "Toward the gate! Take out the guard! Stop the casters!" There's two of the cursed guard dressed in the crimson armor with the white cloaks. They are beelining for your party, and you know they are a threat. Seeing the type of magic they're casting and the force of their blows, the way the ground crackles around them, what are you gonna do?
I'm sorry. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I didn't know who he asked first.
Oh, it
Ona.
was me.
Sorry.
I'm at top of initiative. Well, there's some real things going on here. I will go ahead and cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Okay.
And give myself that protection, though.
Okay.
Boom. And I will walk in front of my good friend Tior over there and kind of like defend him a little bit.
Okay. You got it.
And then that'll be my turn.
Hey, Joey, I just want to let you know I got a 21 on the initiative.
Okay. All right. Well, I will slide you in right after Ona then. Did I miss
Okay.
you telling me that?
I think so. Because I know
I'm
I rolled it
so
twice,
sorry.
but I.
That's right. Because you were rolling in here, I assumed it was straight in the combat tracker. That's what it was. That's my fault. I apologize. But you are going to be up next. Okay. So you see Ona, she kind of squats down a little bit and focuses, and this shield of arcane ice encompasses her body, and she shifts in front of Tior. Tior whips out his shield and his sword. He is defending. He's looking over for his sister Phelan, trying to find out. Hitori, what are you doing?
All right. I'm going to. Definitely pull out the rapier. Move a little bit off to the side, and I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery at the one closest to me.
Okay.
All right, let's see. I need a Wisdom save of 13.
That is a 16.
Nothing happens.
Okay. Is there anything in particular you wanted to say? Or are you just kind of caught up in the moment, you're throwing whatever you can out there?
Yeah, I'm just like, the red looks more like purple. That'll be it.
All right. Phelan, you're up. What are you going to do?
Okay, I'm going to walk up here next to my brother and say, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it anyways. And I'm going to take a vial of purple liquid out of my bag and uncork it and whisper something. And I'm going to cast Sleeping Drought. So let me roll my 9d8 real quick.
Okay, go for it.
Let's see. Ooh, that was good. That was good. 9, 10. Okay, I got 45. Does this person, this guard right here, have 45 HP or less?
Just not.
So he has more.
That is accurate.
Okay, so now he is going to be drowsy. His speed is halved. He can't take reactions and he can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during their turn. And they remain drowsy until they take damage or the spell ends.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna back up and be like, I don't know if that worked. Bye.
All right. He does seem a little bit more sluggish, but otherwise doesn't seem to be affected. All right. So no reactions, and it can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during his turn. Got it.
And its speed is halved.
Its speed is halved. Beautiful. All right. Let me double check that. Okay. Davnai, what are you doing?
So I see the purple mist, and I look down, and I'm like, nope, not gonna use that. I will move around my ally here, target this far one, and you'll see my hand will outstretch, and a black beam will begin to spring around that target. I'm going to cast Ray of Enfeeblement across this one and attempt to try and stem the incoming attack. So I need a DC 13 con save from you.
All right. Rolled a 11.
Okay. The target deals only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength until the spell ends. At the end of your target's turn, you make a con saving throw against the spell. On a success, it ends.
Okay. You
That's
got it.
And then I'm gonna get behind my ally. Go do your thing. I did my thing. Go do your thing.
You see, as each of you do these things, Ona casts Armor of Agathis. Katori shouts out some horribly insulting words. Phelan and Vavnai both cast their spells, use a sleeping draft. These two accursed guard members, they are plotting towards you. They have out these vicious halberds. They have these shields kind of attached to their upper arm that they're moving with it, so they can wield two-hand and have a shield. They are intent. They are looking determined. Mira, you're up. What are you doing?
All right, I'm gonna move over slightly and then cast. Wait, where is it? Shadow Mote on the same one that Vavnai just attacked.
Okay.
If I can find it. For some reason, it's not coming up. So, there it is. That's just an instantaneous one. I'm going to do Threatening Shadows, so the next weapon attack has an advantage against them. Whoever.
Right, the next weapon attack that somebody makes against that creature has advantage?
Correct.
Okay. So this little shadow flips up and these dark wings appear out from this black sphere and start beckoning around its head. And although it's focused on you, it's dodging and maneuvering around this thing. Not entirely sure what you're doing, but you know sometimes magic can be deceptively powerful. So he is distracted. Anything else, Mira?
That's it.
All right, Tior.
Okay, Teal is going to run up to this guy and say, "Don't worry, guys, I've got this." And he's going to try to attack with his rapier with advantage.
Okay, you got
Catchphrase.
Catchphrase. Okay, that's not so good. Okay, that one's better. That is going to be a 17 to hit with the rapier.
Okay, so hopping over the cracked ground and the burning embers beneath you, slide in front of him, take your shield and push towards its face. He backs up a little bit and you thrust forward with the rapier. His shield comes around and knocks it forward, but you follow through, sliding off, attempting to get into the torso, and this arcane shield projects itself in front of his armor, completely ignoring your blow.
Dang it, guys, we were literally just on the same side like 2 seconds ago. What happened? That's gonna be it.
All right. So, you are now face to face with one of these entities. Ona face to face with one of them as well. Armor of Agathis up. You see the battle continues around you. These two large green flamed head with a spike and these massive elemental type summoned creatures start to wail on the accursed guard around them. Apparently they're on the side of whatever the knight captain in your side seems to be in this fray for whatever reason. This one takes out a massive blow, slams into the ground, cracking around it. Arcane energy explodes up. And this one is reduced to ruin. However, at the same time, these two over here on the top left get the better of one of your compatriots, for lack of a better term, slicing his head, and then they turn to face this monstrosity. This one charges forward to help even out. They're going blow to blow. Arcane energy and halberds clashing, shields, cries of battle, blood everywhere. All right, so things are moving, people are dying, everything's happening all around you. The two that you are mostly concerned with, however, this one's going to shift over and position himself between Tior and Katori. Second. He is going to... So he takes his shield and he slams it into Tior's direction, throwing him off balance as he slides into place, and then a quick thrust towards Tior's midsection. That is a 17 to hit Tior.
That hits.
That is going to be a total of... Slams the halberd up. It connects to the armor and strikes through. And as it bites into your flesh, the end flares up with this radiant arcane energy that sears your skin for a total of 10 points of slashing. And then another 10 points of radiant damage. Throwing you off guard.
Okay, that's fine.
Pushing you back. He spins around and makes a similar attack at Katori. That's a natural 20. So that is going to be this one striking across your chest, Katori. Be 15 points of slashing. And 28 points of radiant damage. So spinning around on his heel, the halberd slams straight into your ribcage, crushing in, and you see half the blade is extended as it glows this bright red arcane energy, and then a muffled as you get blasted back 10 feet, your chest cavity open the world.
What was the total?
That would have been 15 slashing plus...
I think 43, right? Because you said 28.
Well, that's double my health.
Okay, so you instantly expire.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you feel this pulsing sensation in your chest deaden and go numb, your vision starts to become hazy. Is there anything you would like to do?
I want to cast Thunder Wave in between. I want to push these guys away from my friends. So, or at least the one that just hit me. So I want to give some space.
Okay.
So that'll be a con save. As a second level.
That is, I rolled an 11.
All right, so he failed. So he's going to take 14 thunder damage, and he's pushed 10 feet from me.
Okay. Anything you'd like to say?
I don't know. I think the blow did everything. That took the wind right out of me, you know. So.
Dang, that blowed.
All right. So, as you feel your consciousness slipping, you pick your head up enough to see your foe, and he stands there. He slams the butt of the halberd into the ground. This arcane shield flares around him. You some last bit of arcane energy you have left to cast Thunder Wave. The thunderous energy sweeps towards him. His shield absorbs a lot of the blow, but the cobblestone gets ripped up as it shoves him in place back 10 feet away from you.
Can Teal take an opportunity attack?
No, because he didn't move on his own.
Okay.
That is a rule that you guys pay attention to. That helps you guys sometimes. I want you to pay attention to that because you can rip somebody out of danger's way, not provoking an opportunity attack. So that's a good rule to know. This other individual over by Ona. You see Ona this icy exterior on your armor of Agathis. It's reflecting off of his armor as the wind and the fire sweep his cloak around him. He takes a halberd and jams it into the ground, sticking. And he takes his hands and slaps them together. I can melt you. A torrent of flame escapes from his hands. I need a dexterity saving throw.
That's hot.
And actually, that would catch more than Ona.
Oh. Let's see. Was that good? Oh. My dice roller's being so slow right now. Yeah, that was a 19, friend.
That would catch you too as well, Phelan. So I need a dexterity saving throw. Dexterity saving throw from you also. 19. Okay, you're going to take half damage. Let me get to that part.
I got a 17.
Okay. That is a failure. So you're going to take full damage, Phelan.
Alright, that's fine.
So, Phelan, you take 19 fire damage as you're fully enveloped, caught off guard as it molds around Ona and hits you full blast. Your arm of Agathis protects you momentarily, enough for you to dodge out of the way. So you're going to take 9 fire damage from this, Ona.
Oh my goodness.
I want to hellish rebuke that guy. Dexterity save, please.
That doesn't have to be melee range, does it? I'm just double checking.
No, it's
Okay,
60
good.
feet.
Dexterity save.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that is a 24.
Oh my god, okay, well he still takes half damage. Hold
Okay,
on, let me
good.
get my damage.
Do it.
This is awful. Where's my other list?
And it wasn't a melee attack.
It was not.
Darn
Okay.
him.
He takes 4 fire damage.
Okay, you got it.
Woo.
All right. So, as you call forth your patron, flames shoot up around him. He grabs a halberd, kind of spins around, twirling it over his head as the left side of him gets caught up in flame, the shield flickering. He doesn't even really seem to notice it. All right. Ona, what are you doing?
Well, I am a little scaredy of this guy now. I wanna boop him with my bear claws, I guess.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Gonna do the roll. Oh, this is taking forever. What is it? No! Don't do it! No! Why would you do it? I rolled a nat 1 plus 4, which is 5. The worst part is, for some reason, my D&D Beyond is chugging, so it was in slow-mo. I hate everything here.
I'm sorry. So it's a natural one?
It's a nat 1.
Okay.
I'm waiting for him to laugh at me. When that fails,
you lash out, and as he simply sidesteps a little bit, and as he does so, this massive ball of arcane energy, 15 away, comes slamming down and throws you off kilter. You're balanced just enough to slam to the haft of his halberd instead, as he neatly sidesteps it, picks it up, and twirls it, and he's ready to engage with you again. Anything else?
well, if he was gonna be nice about it, I was gonna offer him some fish, but now I'm not. So, no, that's gonna be my turn, I guess. Gosh, how rude. How rude of him.
All right. Tori, skip you for now. Balin, what are you doing?
I'm going to see that I am literally almost dead, and I'm going to back the fuck up and call to my brother and be like, I think that we should not be here right now, please, and take the dodge action.
You got it. Davnai?
I'm gonna see that fire envelop Ona. Kind of pull my staff out, charge at him. The staff's head will come alive, and I'll just holler out, "You get away from her!" And strike.
Go for it.
19 to hit.
You lash out with the staff. The snake head comes alive. It lashes towards his neck, and at the last second, you see him look and slam the halberd up, slamming and knocking the snake's head out of the way, and he is now parrying between the both of you. He's not hit.
And I just spit curses at him. That's it.
Mira.
Okay, I just saw this one kill my only friend, Tori, so I run up to him and, well, I'm gonna run here. I'm going to use Necrotic Shroud and transform. He needs to do a Charisma save.
Sure. That is a 27.
Oh, okay, well, that's super helpful. I'm so glad I wasted that. That's fine. And I'm just gonna shit myself because now I'm within melee of this character. So continue.
All right. And Tior, your sister's backing up. She's saying we shouldn't be here right now. What are you doing, Tior? What would
He's
Tior
going.
do?
Tior would be like, "No, I've got this. I've got 2 patrons," and he's going to cast. Oh, I know he can't. Oh, yes, he can. No, he can't. He already casted it. Never mind. He can't do Fey Presence because he already did it earlier. Darn it. He's gonna run up and stab him.
Okay, go for it.
Probably won't work, but here we go. He's got 2 patrons. He can do anything. That was a natural 20.
What? Awesome, awesome.
Okay. So we're doing... How do we do our nat 20s again? Is it double the dice or double...
It's max and then rolled. So max one set of dice and then you roll the second set.
Oh, that was good. That was 20 total damage, and it's going to be necrotic damage.
Okay, you got it. So as this individual focuses on Mira, you see the opportunity to strike from behind. A quick rapier strike finds a kink underneath the arm. You pump necrotic energy into it, and his arm kind of weakens and cripples for a moment before he shoves you back with the shield and spins around, and then this sickening grin appears across his lips. Anything else?
Nope, that's going to be it for Tior. Probably, in general.
All right. So he is going to spin around. Mira, you would get an opportunity attack as he leaves your space. You see him spin and flash out with the halberd and then kind of twirl back to back with Tior before coming on the side opposite of him as you are, Mira.
Great. I'm gonna stab him with my freaking dagger while he goes by, or try
Go for
to. Nat 20.
Nice.
Finally.
Very nice.
We're rolling all right. We're rolling all right. It'll happen. It'll happen. Okay. Okay, 10 points of piercing damage.
All right, you got it. So finding a loose bit of leathery armor up above the kneecap, you slice across and blood trickles down his leg as it sprays and he spins around. The halberd comes over to yours head, Tior ducks, but then you see, especially because of the way that you fight, this was nothing more than a feinting maneuver as he struck with one arm, and in the one coming around now, right behind Tior's head, which you can see because you're on the opposite side, is this cackling ball of arcane lightning energy. I need both of you to make a dexterity saving throw as a beam of lightning crackles out directly in line of you two.
Tio got an 18.
Here, I got a 17.
Okay, 18 succeeds, 17 fails.
Of course it does.
1 second here. There it is.
Glad I wasn't too attached to this character or anything.
So success is half damage. So you, Mira, Fjord ducks at the last moment as it kind of cackles across and you dodge in the exactly wrong direction, instinctively throwing up your weapon at the last moment. It kind of sizzling and crackles through your body. You take 35 points of lightning damage. Tior, you take 17 as it streaks down your back and splits open your skin.
Tio is unconscious.
I'm also unconscious.
Okay. All right. And with that, he is now face to face with Ona and Vavnai. However, you two were already face to face with one staring you down. He is going to. You see the halberd spin around quickly, and then in an arc, it strikes down in front of you guys at a 45-degree angle, and two bolts of force energy come flying off Eldritch Blast at you. So you both get opportunity attacks as he backed up momentarily first.
Nat 20.
Nice.
That was no, that's a 10.
No,
That's a 10 for me.
That was not a nat 20.
It was not a nat 20?
Tell me it barely makes it. Please, give me some good news.
What was it?
It was a 10.
Okay, I will say it hits, but that is because as he's backing up, he drops his defenses, welcoming them. So go ahead.
Cool. Beautiful.
No shits.
I'm fine with that.
Give me a DC 15 con save as that snake fangs just pierce deeply into that flesh. That succulent flesh.
That was a 13.
You're gonna just take
That
it, son.
Is 5
It's not.
5. It doesn't. I assume it would be like slashing because it's my claws.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So 5 slashing.
Okay.
Okay. 6 damage regular and then 12 poison damage.
Okay. As he backs up and drops his defenses, Ona, you slash out and you catch a bit of skin just above his cuirass and you see blood start trickling down. At the same time, the adder strikes out, lashes onto the soft armor in his elbow. And he kind of wrenches his arm free before he spins around and makes that 45-degree arc with an Eldritch Blast coming at each of you. Ona, that's a natural 20. Vavnai, that is a 17.
Hits a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Just
going to be
barely got us.
12. I'm sorry. That's 22 force damage against you, Ona, and 11 force damage against you, Vavnai. And he continues to spin, and this time a 45-degree upper. 2 more Eldritch Blasts come out.
Nope, I'm out.
Jesus Christ.
It's all you,
I was gonna
Vabnai.
say, that's a 24 total against you, Ona. And that's a natural 20 against you, Vabnai.
No, I'm already down.
You're down?
I'm already down. I only had 20 hit points left.
Okay, well, as you're falling, this slams into you because it's part of the same attack. So this one failed death saving throw. And you are going to, thankfully, the critical hit once against Vabnai. That is going to be 20 points of force damage against you, Vabnai.
Yeah, I'm out.
All right. So the first strike slams into Ona's upper left chest and spins her around, and she starts to fall unconscious. Another one comes in her back, and you hear this sickening as she topples forward and slams into the cobblestone. Vabnai, you look over to her and suddenly, back to back, two of them in your chest. You get the wind knocked out of you, and you slowly drift backwards towards the earth before slamming hard on the burning cobblestone beneath you. So you two are out. Who's up? Phelan. Phelan, you are the only one left standing at this moment. What are you doing?
As soon as I watched my brother die, I would have just, once again, broken out into, like, tears. Like, screaming and being like, not again! It can't happen again! And as I watch all of my friends fall to the floor, I'm just going to probably fall to my knees sobbing. That's all that I can do.
TPK.
And that's it.
TPK. TPK.
Okay. So as you start to lose control emotionally, these two figures walk over to you. One of them kicking Ona and Vabnai as they walk by and slamming out the butt of their halberd into Tior's limp body as they do so. As they kind of separate to flank you, in the distance a bit there, you still see this elvish woman and the Knight Captain engaged in combat. He strikes out with his halberd. She casts a cantrip. He swings his fist out. She kicks him in the stomach. Out of nowhere, this huge elemental being comes flying across because of some arcane blast from behind, slamming him into the Knight Captain. Knight Captain gets spun around, and as for a split second, he doesn't have his footing. And suddenly, this wicked curved dagger jams up into his back and severs his spinal cord. He collapses to his knees, and she leans over from behind and whispers something in his ear. She rips it out, kicks him to the ground. Then, from over the top, another massive ball of arcane energy comes streaking through the sky and lands right in front of you. But that's when your vision returns.
And that is where we're going to take our break.
We're not. We're not. One by one, we all come back in. You're returned as the time shift eludes, escapes, dissipates around you. You're once more standing on this modern day, whatever time or possibility or whatever that was. That is not the scene here. The same friendly faces are around you, everybody going about their normal everyday lives. The rain has since stopped. It is misting a bit. The sun is beginning to pierce through the aurora above. A bunch of commoners and accursed guards stand around you like nothing ever happened. What are you doing?
I'm going to run over and hug my brother to death, even though we're probably standing right next to each other.
Is there a seat anywhere?
There are seats over by the temple, and then the entire courtyard is surrounded by this kind of multi-tier iron railing to keep people from falling off. Because it is largely the entire complex, this entire platform that y'all are on is kind of built up and supported by 3 jagged spires of black rock jutting out of the obsidian rush, that dark river below. And so if anybody were to fall, they'd fall into the obsidian rush, and that's a very bad thing. So there are statues and seats on the railings, probably 30, 40 feet away is the nearest one, or you could go up to the temple, sit by one of those. Those are a little more crowded, but it's up to you.
I would definitely be clutching my chest where I took the blow, walking just overlooking that reach. Like I'd walk that way to the railing, just kind of take it in.
Are we at like 1 HP or are we back to full and rested everything?
No, you can effectively take a long rest, only because that's the fastest mechanical way in D&D Beyond to completely restore everything. It was like that never happened. So if you can remember what you did this day prior to this and want to mark that off, go ahead. But it's not a huge deal at this moment. Y'all didn't do much in the way of spells or anything since your last rest prior to that episode.
What was that?
That was awful.
I kind of just back up against Ona and just like grip my staff while just looking around, just waiting to see what's next.
After I don't want to say it, after you fell, I saw that elven woman, she killed him. She killed the captain. And then there was another flash of light that landed like right in front of me. And then that's when would you call this waking up? Would you call it coming back?
Do you think this is one of those time anomaly things? So all that stuff did actually happen, but now we went back to the past?
Well, it certainly felt very real. I don't know. I don't know if I would... But the other ones were like... I mean, the first one was like a portal that we walked through, right? It was like...
Yeah, and the second one we woke up in. And then this one we just
kind of walked into it, right?
So you're saying that was a vision?
No. Saying we time traveled again and then back. That's the only thing that makes sense. I don't think it would make sense for all of us to have the exact same vision. I mean, I'm sure weirder stuff has happened, but that's the only consistent thing that's been happening. We've been going through different time loopy things and different time anomalies, and this is the only thing that seems to connect, right?
Yeah,
well, if that's our future...
anything. We didn't do anything to get in or out like we did the last ones.
Yeah, I don't know if whatever that light was is what took us out of it, or if it was just like a limited run on time anomaly.
Gotta hit that respawn button.
Is anybody else given any indication that they are confused or looking around as guarded, as strange as we are?
You mean everybody in your party?
Yes.
Give
I
me a
mean,
perception check.
anybody being like, kind of how when we first came out of a temporal state.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Ona's gonna take a quick minute to suddenly become panic, checked her fish pocket, and then sigh of relief.
5.
Okay. No, it's almost as though... So here's the thing. Looking forward, Bavnai, you trying to gauge this specifically, you recall now, focusing in, that there was a pair of individuals, 2 elves, walking from right to left in front of the doorway when your vision faded out. And now that it has come back in, they are maybe a step or 2 ahead of when you regain your vision in this space. Looking around, you don't see any marks of outward concern or confusion on anybody in the immediate vicinity.
Do we still see the Knight Captain talking to the Elvish woman?
Yes, they have now turned and they are walking back towards the temple, but yes.
Should we tell them? Should we run up there and tell him what we just saw?
We don't even know what it means, what we just saw. It could be the future, it could be just something scary, but like I don't know if we should, because what if we change the future and it doesn't happen like that anymore?
Well, I don't want it to happen like that, so if I could change
it doesn't happen.
I just watched Katori get his chest blown out and watched my brother die for the second time today.
Okay, but if we tell them, what is that gonna do? It's not like they can really, if they're chatting right now, like what are they gonna be able to do to prepare for it? If anything, we're gonna make whatever that happened happen sooner if we tell them and we're wrong.
Perhaps
Maybe we tell one of them?
Perhaps what we saw is not a future or a past, but an alternate reality to now. What we see here in front of us is our now. What we saw together may be happening elsewhere. There's no way to know.
I'm gonna
see-
slowly move Vavnai away from Tior, just in case.
As you're doing that, and everybody else that would be looking, you would be looking, you would see this. They have now reached the door, and the two guards that are traveling with the Knight Captain have opened them outward again. And you see the Knight Captain and this mysterious elvish woman have entered into the Scarlet Hearth, but they're standing kind of just beyond the doorway there in the entrance. Exchange a couple of words, and then with a great flourish, the Knight Captain whips out this dark scarlet rose and hands it to her. And you see she has this kind of blush on her face, but then there's also this kind of playful eye roll.
Okay.
And he bows a little bit, and she slaps him on the shoulder, and they walk off in separate directions inside the temple, and the two guards follow them in and close the doors behind them.
Is Tior taking notes?
Tior is very rapidly writing down everything. I mean,
Do we follow either of them?
I
What are we
wanted to
doing?
I wanted to go into the Scarlet Hearth regardless, but now I really don't want to be here at all.
Yeah, I feel that, but I think I still want to go in.
I
But
mean,
feel
we
like
were
should keep
supposed
an eye out on those two.
we were supposed to go in anyway, but then we got sidetracked by those bozos who got out drunk by Tior.
I'm just gonna slowly walk up to the temple.
I will cautiously follow everybody.
So we're entering the temple. Everyone? All right. So you cross just many dozens of feet left. It's probably a good 120 or so feet approaching the temple. And as you do so, the statues get larger and larger. You now realize that they're maybe 12 to 15 feet tall, much larger than they appeared from a distance. The door is similarly a good 10 to 12 feet tall. And they're double doors, but they each have their own individual arc, almost forming kind of like an M. And the stonework is very ornate, and which stands out because it is otherwise just magnificently clean shaped stone elsewhere besides these doors. But on the doors, you see this intricate, marvelous motif of stonework. Fine craftsmanship, if not arcane craftsmanship. And now that you're close enough to make it out, you see hundreds, if not thousands, of tiny individuals engaged in some type of communication in one form or another with hundreds of much larger and strange creatures. You rapidly get the sense that these two doors depict a symbology, a symbolism, a glorification of the many patrons and warlocks that pass through these doors. As you grasp the onyx colored handles, at least, they feel smooth and kind of stone-like, but not really. And you open them up, this strange scent permeates the air around you. It's not particularly sweet or ill. It's just exotic. You can't really place it, but you do get this kind of incensey type feel about it. As you enter in, there's dozens of arcane lights in a ring around this huge circular central chamber. You walk in and you're on a little bit of a platform. It's higher than the center of the room. In the center of the room, there's a couple of steps down. It's like there's an outer ring and then an inner ring, which is somewhat lower. On this inner ring, you see a dozen, 24 of individuals standing, sitting, kneeling, lying down. One of them is even standing on a single leg with her arms up in the air. And they all appear to be in like this trance-like state. The ring that they're all standing within, it's probably a good 2-3 dozen feet across in diameter. There's this arcane kind of mist flowing around between their ankles and their knees, those who aren't laying in it. They all seem to be, again, entranced or lost to the moment. Around the edge of this circular chamber, there are 8 massive doors proceeding in a counterclockwise fashion that each depict a different symbol, which, knowing what you know of this city and the fact that some of you are warlocks, you can quickly piece together correspond to each major archetype of patron. There's a stag, an octopus, and so on. On the far side of the room, there seems to be a kind of a rectangular hole in the ground, probably stairs of some type. And then directly across in the center of the backside of the room, there's this hollow doorway with a spiral staircase ascending upward. What do y'all do?
Do we see where the elvish woman walked with the rose?
You see a bunch of unnamed civilians, warlocks, pilgrims on the interior circle, and you see about 6 guards on either side, kind of evenly spaced out. At a quick glance, you don't see anybody other than those individuals, and none that you recognize.
How close are the guards?
The nearest one's about 10 feet away on
Yeah.
either side of the main door.
I just kind of, sir, did you see an elvish woman? She entered shortly before we did, and we are in search of her. And I'll kind of give her dimensions and such.
Let's see how charismatic you're coming across right now. Give me a persuasion check.
Does a 22 work for you?
Perhaps.
I explain her in exquisitely fine detail. Like hair split ends at the backside of her hair, blah, 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 yeah, everything.
So much so well, so in detail that Ona's literally
it's
like
almost
sitting
creepy.
behind him, like eating a fish, just listening as if it's the best story she's ever heard.
Yeah.
Her fingernails were not as finely trimmed upon these two as the others.
Right, that would be Fate, the Shield Maiden.
Fate.
Yeah, she went to the lower chamber.
The lower chambers. Thank you. The lower
Nice.
chambers. I start heading towards the lower chambers, assuming that's who we're going to be going after.
Yeah, I'm joining.
I will follow while finishing my fish.
We will follow as well.
Taking in the sights. Never been here before.
Soaking in the
Soaking in
vibe.
the vibes.
Soaking in the vibes. You know, it's weird.
Yep.
Feel like I don't
Yep.
belong.
Okay, so kind of silently and somewhat expeditiously, without drawing attention to yourselves, you make your way around the outer ring to the far side and then a little bit further to get to the stairway leading down. You see there's about 15 or 20 steps that descend down into what would be darkness if not for 2 arcane lights in these strange-looking sconces on either side of the stairwell. These are stone stairs leading down, and they kind of hook around to the left past the 15 stairs at this kind of semicircular landing. The walls are in tight, so you can't see what's around that corner, but you do see down there on this landing there is another member of the Accursed Guard posted.
Just going to keep walking. Fate went... I don't know if it's a sir or ma'am, as far as the guard, but which direction did Fate, the Shield Maiden, go?
You could assume, but full.
Oh, they're
you
fully
can't
mapped.
see.
Yeah. My good God.
What's your business with Fate?
Says it in her name, doesn't it?
Conversation.
Well, Miss Fate's busy. She's not to be disturbed right now.
What if I offered her, and you, especially you, my friend, some high-quality, paid-for fish?
I'd be much obliged, but not particularly hungry and I'm on duty at the moment.
Could you let her know that we are seeking an audience? We will respectfully wait, but just let her know that there's an audience to be had, if she would have it.
Should I assign a name to this audience, or just some people want to see you?
Tell her that we are we were Tior?
What was the Captain of the Guard's name?
We're friends. We're friends of Captain LaCroix, maybe? Yes.
That one.
Captain LaCroix.
Oh yeah, who was the broomstick guy? We're his friend too.
What broomstick guy?
There was a guy whose name was Broom. I don't remember. He was a
Jared,
guard.
right?
No, was it Jared? I don't remember his last name. Anyway, we're friends of the guard. We're here on a mission and we need to talk to Fate.
Friends of the Night Captain, wishing to see Fate. Is that about it?
Aye.
Either that or Lieutenant Lux, whichever one rolls the fancy.
All right. I'll let her know.
Thank you.
Ona just sits and stares and waits for him to leave and go and tell her. Just patiently, just kind of awkwardly staring at him.
He's staring right back.
Can I cast Detect Thoughts on him to see if he, thinks that we are legitimate in any way?
You can certainly try. Go ahead and read that spell description for me. I have not encountered that one yet.
If you need to, we do have that thing.
I know, but I don't know if we're gonna use. Do we want to use that thing right now? We can talk about that. If he just needs to do a Wisdom saving throw, you can initially learn surface level thoughts of the creature. What is most on its mind at the moment?
Rolled a 14.
Okay. Well, that's annoying. Never mind.
What was it?
13 was mine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Actually, let's see, what is it? Hold on, let me make sure I don't screw this up. My Pact Boon, Pact of the Talisman. Oh, damn it, I can't give it away. I was hoping I could use it if I can give it away, but it's only on me if I fail an ability check. Sorry.
I have a question. I might be dumb and I might have forgotten, but did we ever get our tracking bracelets off?
No, we did not.
So we're still walking around like fugitives. Got it.
Yeah.
You are. Lieutenant Jaren was there, but as you're all discussing things, he got pulled away before he could do anything about it. He did give you the impression that that was fine. It's just he would have to summon mages and yell them to sleep.
There were things happening.
Happen. Yeah. Just oversight, really. That would be the impression you have.
Got it. Okay, well, I feel like we back up a little bit, start walking up the steps, but I'm going to ask everyone if I should use our get out of jail free card right now.
I mean, as we're walking away, I feel like now it would seem fishy.
Yeah,
if we just pull it.
I mean,
now if we pull it, now it's like we're gonna want to read it.
Disguise myself as someone else and try to use it. What are we thinking?
I think we should go upstairs for like a little bit, come back down, check back in.
Ona turns around and goes back to the guard.
So what is Fate doing exactly? Like, is she in a meeting? Is she taking a nap? Like, what's she doing?
Give me a persuasion check. You're asking about somebody else's activities in a clearly guarded area.
Okay, alright, persuasion.
We're about to get TPK'd all over again.
We're about to get T. You know what? My persuasion is actually very good. So let's just hope that these ducky dice make me proud. Absolutely! That's 14 plus 5, so that's a 19, sir. Way to go, ducky dice.
Well, I'm not quite sure, to be honest, but I believe she's helping somebody out with a patronic matter, as she's wont to do.
Patronic, can she get rid of patrons? Can she get rid of mine? Please, 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 please!
Not quite how it works, if I understand correctly. She often deals with making sure that potential warlocks, those who want to be warlocks, they don't fall victim to a bad deal. so to speak.
Oh, so Tior, you're up.
Yeah. I kind of just look over. I don't know.
Potential
Like,
warlocks, you say?
that'll be nice.
I
Yes,
heard my
that's the way I
nickname.
understand it. She has a gift in these matters. Or so I hear.
And
don't-
how might one get an appointment with fate?
Tio, don't you have 2 patrons of your own at this time? Do you really need a third?
I always could use more patrons. I want to be sure that these patrons are good for me.
Oh, 2's not enough for you, eh?
Yours isn't enough for you either.
No, it's incorrect. Ours is too much for us. There's a difference.
Anyways, about that appointment.
I'm sure she'll make time for you when she has the chance. She's quite open with it. She wants to help everybody she can. In fact, I don't think she ever sleeps. I'm not quite sure how it works, but she seems amenable enough to simply asking her. Sometimes she barges in unannounced when she knows a deal is taking place she wasn't invited to. Quite strange.
Interesting. And where does she does she have like a place where I could go and see her? Does she have like a public place where I can go and say, hey, I need an appointment, or do I just have to like stumble upon her on the street? Is this where she hangs out?
Most days she spends a lot of time here. Every now and then she'll go out in the field, whether to investigate something with the Knight Captain or to battle, but often, if she's not handling personal matters, she's here.
Ona leans over to Phelan.
Well, yeah, like the field of death.
And just whispers to her.
Phelan just shakes her head and says, not right now, Ona. Not again. I can't think about that right now.
Too soon?
Way too soon. My brother died twice in front of me in one day. Well,
Okay, I'm
I
going to cast
I-
encode. Okay, encode
No.
thoughts and take the memory out of my head into a strand and say we have a very important message, and I will put it into that guy's forehead.
Okay, so you can do
You're
this one of two ways. You can either attempt to do this consensually, in a way where you kind of hold it up and slowly.
Oh, I'm not
in
doing
which
it
case-
consensually. This is going in his head. He has to
Okay,
see
then
it.
I'm gonna need you to make basically an attack roll
Okay, that's
to
fine.
like, just like jam it at him. I'll give you advantage because he was definitely not expecting that.
Okay, so 17.
17. Okay, sure. So you like quickly thrust your hand out, and before he knows what happens, your hand heats metal, and the thoughts slam into his head. What thoughts did you put in there?
Specifically, just a memory of the elvish woman and the knight captain fighting. Just that exact memory. Because
Okay.
whatever memory I take out of my head, I now don't have.
Okay, so now you don't remember that.
Right.
Okay, good to know. Cool.
You're a wizard, Harry.
So you cast the spell, slam it in, and you take your hands away. And you don't remember what you put in there, but you know you put something in there. And he kind of rocks back a little bit and looks left and right at each of you. All right, I need you all to go right now.
Go where? Go see
What
Fate? Okay, we can go see Fate. That's fine.
And he starts pushing. He has the halberd up, as like crossbow, and he starts like pushing you back up the stairs.
Wait, but
Ona's-
we have to talk to Fate about.
Ona's gonna
we have to
start
talk to
roaring.
Fate.
I told you I'll handle it. Go. He's shoving you. You're gonna start roaring, Ona.
Yep, Ona's just roaring down the hallway trying to get Fate's attention in whatever room she's in.
Okay.
Oh man.
Rar XD.
All right. So, as you're roaring, you hear from above you, barely over Ona's loud roar echoing in this small stairwell. You hear metallic footsteps as some of the guards from above rush towards the stairs to see what the ruckus is, and they start shouting at you, trying to get you to come up. One of them is coming down and starts grabbing at whichever one of you is the closest behind and pulling you out. Oh, Fate hasn't appeared yet. You don't know if she's going to, obviously, but she hasn't appeared yet. Meanwhile, the one in front of you is still pushing you back up the stairs. There's one pulling at you from behind. Are you guys going to keep this up or do something different?
If one of
I'm
the
not fighting.
Yeah, I'm not fighting. If they don't want us here, I'm not
Okay, so
protesting.
what is everybody doing? Ona's, are you standing your ground and going to keep roaring?
I'm allowing to be pushed back, but I am just trying to roar down the hallway to attempt to get Fate to come out of the room and get her permission to meet with us of her own accord.
Okay. You're roaring as you're hesitantly but willingly getting pushed up the stairs. Phelan, Tior, Feitai?
Tio will probably be following me because we don't like going against the law.
Okay. Mira?
I'm just gonna say, what do you mean by handle it? To the guy. He said he would handle it.
I said I'd talk to you and tell her that you wanted to see her. Now go! Now!
Do I believe him?
Give me an insight check.
I've already started walking up them stairs.
Okay.
Like, I don't even know
Katori?
what the hell's
Yeah.
going on.
You got it, Fab9. Katori? Are you going up the stairs? Like, are you
I was
out?
I was already like the last one because obviously I'm not really part of this. I mean, I am part of this, but I didn't know. Now it's a patronic thing, and I'm just like kind of in the shadows now because now it's just like so I was already at the back, and I was the first one they grabbed, so I'm already at the top. Like I was
Okay.
already being ferried.
All right, what'd you roll, Mira?
12.
12. You're used to dealing with deception. This is a very emotional situation. It's very confusing. There's a lot of shouting going on, so your judgment could be flawed. You recognize this. You also, just from the tenor and the consistency in his voice and the fact that you know you shoved something in his mind and his attitude quickly changed, he is either furious or frightened, but either way, it is urgent. You don't see any outward obvious signs of deception.
Okay, then I'll go up the stairs.
Now,
As
Ona,
soon, if any of them touch my tail, I will roar at them so loud. No one touches my fluffy tail but Vav9.
one guard has his hand on his shoulder pulling you back, and the other one's at your chest pushing you with the halberd. So nobody's touching your tail, Ona.
Can I toot on one of them?
Sure, you can.
Just like
In
the dog
mid-roar?
sleeping on the mid-roar.
Sure.
Just rah, whoop, rah.
All right. So you eventually get pushed back up to the top of the stairs where the rest of your party is either waiting or has dispersed to get some space. And you see they are off on the side, and the two guards that came to the stairs initially from the top, they're there with you, and they've kind of cordoned you off and kind of cornered you against a wall not far from the stairwell. And they are looking at you very intently, but we're waiting for Ona to begin talking to you. Meanwhile, the guard that was in the stairwell has since gone back out down the stairwell out of sight from where you all are now.
As soon as I get to the top platform of the stairs, I will sit my cute little butt down and I wait at the top of the stairs. They can pull me all they want. I will just sit my cute little butt on the top of them stairs. I'll wait patiently. I'll stop roaring too.
Okay. Well, they tug on you, but they can't move you, apparently.
Good.
All right. So the two of them that have since given up on tugging you are there standing on either side of you, and another one has come over to question you all. You don't have to go through it, but it is largely just, what the hell is your problem? What are you doing? This is a sacred place. Are you out of your mind? The king will hear of this. Ranting and raving. He is pissed. He seems to be carries himself as though he's kind of like the authority of this not necessarily this temple, but probably this shift of duty, for lack of a better term, a sergeant in arms, for lack of a better term. And he is just grilling you, giving you the third degree. This goes on for 30 seconds to a minute. He's not even really letting you get a word in. He's venting more than anything. And then, Ona, you see at the landing below you in the stairwell, you see Fate come walking up astride and is talking to the guard and he is animated in whatever he is telling her. It's in hushed tones. You can barely hear the whispers echoing up. And she looks up at you and looks back at him and looks up at you, like really confused and alarmed. And she places her hand on his chest and he calms down quickly. And then she walks up to meet you. Behind her, you see this relatively pauperish looking elderly lady. Not really in rags, but definitely in clothes that have seen better days, and she has a slight limp as she's slowly climbing up the stairs behind her. As she climbs up within a couple of feet of you, she pauses, and this lady comes up next to her, and she touches foreheads with her. And then she kind of gently nudges her up the stairs, past the guards, and gives her a slight wave before coming face to face with you, Ona.
Ona will look at that interaction and go, and then immediately put her head, like start leaning her head down towards Fate, or who she assumes is Fate, and just start like, me too?
She's standing firm. She does not touch heads with you.
Ona's just gonna sit there, like, still kind of like, looking.
So, the long fair hair is falling down both sides now. She has since, it was kind of up outside and has since kind of fallen down. She doesn't have her arms with her, but she's still wearing that armor. You get the sense she's more comfortable in it as clothing than wearing it for battle, for lack of a better term. And she's standing there and she puts her hands on her hips and cocks her head to the side and addresses you. So what's this all about then? Where are your friends? Oh.
They're right behind me. I was waiting for you, ma'am.
We should leave the temple. Now.
Whatever you say, ma'am.
And I'll kind of like get up and kind of move out of her way and...
After you.
Okay. So she walks and she places her hand on the shoulder of the guard that's interrogating all of you, and he stops for a second. She looks at him. I've got it. It's all right. And he like has this furrowed look at his eyebrow, like he's frustrated. And he just wants to, but he breathes and he turns and walks. You should follow me. And turns and she starts walking towards the front door.
I will follow her like the good little polar bear that I am.
And the rest of you?
Following.
Tior and Phelan will follow as well.
Definitely.
So,
Following along.
You make your way out of the front doors, past, and the guards, you can see they're all just staring at you, fuming. As you make your way out of the door, they get opened for you forcefully by the two guards adjacent to the door, and Fate walks through, and you all proceed through. The doors close, not so silently behind you, and she continues walking across this open courtyard to a series of seats up against a far railing to the left, overlooking the Obsidian Rush, and behind it, in the distance, the city of Cathrak, from which you have been having all your adventures so far. She turns around when she gets to the railing, kind of leans back and puts her arms on it, cocks one leg up. What is this all about?
We, I guess you could say, have been, I don't know if you've heard, we've been going through some time anomalies lately in the city. I don't know if you've experienced them, but we recently had one while we were walking up to the Scarlet Hearth that involved you and a certain guard captain.
Oh, wait, and I'll point over at sorry, can't remember her name.
Whose name?
Katori's friend.
Mira.
I point over at Mira. Show her the thoughts that you have, or the thing you did with the god.
I don't actually remember.
Of course, the memory that we all have. Just go put it in,
Can you do it to someone else?
Well, I mean, we can just tell her.
Oh, we can show her.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do it again.
Anyways, we were walking, we saw you two, you and Captain LaCroix, and all of a sudden we were on a bloody battlefield, and you and the captain were fighting to the death, and some of the guard came and started attacking us here. We all died except for me, and then I watched as you killed the captain, whispered something in his ear, and then we jumped back here, saw you, decided to come and talk to you about it, see if you would know anything about why that might have happened, if there's any unrest going on in the city that we need to know about, anything.
Or if there's some unruly patrons that you deal with that we should know about.
That might be pushing for us to see this sort of thing.
While Phelan is telling her this, I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts on her to see if she has any reaction to what is being said.
Okay.
So another wisdom saving throw.
That is a 15.
Okay, nothing happens.
I have to be honest, I have no possible imaginary idea what you're talking about. Of course, there are patrons that get out of line, but generally they're the lesser, the weaker ones. The more powerful ones know that they have to, well, fall in line with Dorian, or they can't access the font of everything that is Yonkath. And so they don't dare go against the ruler, the king. And as far as the Knight Captain and I, we squabble, of course, but it would never hurt me. No, it would never hurt him. I don't know what you think you saw. I don't. I believe you. And I have heard of these time anomalies. But if that is what you experienced, and unless you know something I don't, there's no way to be sure that that is what you experienced. Perhaps someone was playing a trick on you, or attempting to seed unrest. The rumors are true. The Knight Captain and Dorian don't see eye to eye as much as they used to, but it is nowhere near anything like a war, or civil unrest even.
Not yet, it's not.
Teal will.
There were even.
Go ahead.
I'll say they were even patrons fighting, or abominations. There was red, like vines, thorned vines, like a rose going up the spire.
And then Teal will walk forward.
Yeah, good.
Will walk forward and say, and there was like a blinding white flash of light before, and then my sister said that there was one that landed right in front of her right before the vision. And do you know what those bright flashes of lights are that fill up the sky? And
the only thing that I can think of, anything close to that, there are devices the guard is working on right now to defend Yonkath from our foreign enemies. Great arcane machines capable of throwing massive explosions of arcane energy a great distance, but otherwise, no. I haven't heard of anything like that. Why?
Fire. There was also lots of fire.
What do you mean fire?
The ground was on fire. Everything was on fire. And one of them shot fire at me. They burned me alive.
It seemed as though the accursed guard was split. Some fighting with you, with a different armor, red and white, and then some in black, fighting with the captain.
One of y'all give me a persuasion check with advantage, because you're all trying to convince Fate that what you're saying is something you actually saw and potentially could happen.
I have a good persuasion. I could do it. If no one else wants to. Okay.
I have a good one, but you can do it.
Okay. Ducky dice, don't let me down. That's a nat 20. Nat 20 plus 5. Let's go! Ona's very persuasive.
All right, well, let's suppose that this was a time anomaly. Obviously, it wouldn't be the past. It's not the present, so it must be the future. And if it's the future, does that mean that it's bound to happen? That it's already set in stone?
Well, that's why I especially wanted to tell you about it, so that now that you're aware, you can keep an eye out and change it if it is the future. If you see any hints of the gods turning against each other or anything.
Well, supposing it is the future and it's set in stone, then we would simply be fulfilling it by you telling me.
Don't worry,
What
you
if-
live.
Yes, but apparently I murdered the Knight Captain. And that is worse than death. I wonder if perhaps you telling me is what has set this series of events into motion.
Or make them not happen.
Should we
Perhaps.
talk to the night guard? What should we do? We don't want this to happen. We want to figure out how to prevent it.
I don't want to die.
I don't
We don't
either, but I don't pretend to know the ways of the future and how this all works. Fate is my name, but it's not something I necessarily believe in. But I also can't discount it. I would advise seeking the counsel of somebody more accustomed to matters of time and fate. Now,
Do you have any
do what you will,
suggestions?
but well, you can ask any one of those hundreds of clerics on Patron's Pass about fate and preordainment, and I'm sure they will give you a yawn or two.
I'm
Whether you
sure they'll
choose to
give
believe
us
that is up to
something.
you. I can't tell you what to believe. As far as time, the specialists around here are the Evermore, so you could ask one of them. But whether or not you believe them is also up to you, so I really don't know what to tell you. Except now that I have much to think of and potentially much to discuss with LaCroix.
Well, my best advice for you is that if you guys get in a fight, just talk it out over cookies or something, and don't bring your weapons. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
That is sound advice if I have ever heard it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ona, like, looks over to Vav9, is kind of like, did I do a good job? Like, waddling.
You kind of give her like a little elbow nudge, like good job.
Do you think they'll let us back in?
I don't want to go back in there. It was dark and it made me want to sneeze.
If you promise to behave yourselves, I'm sure I could get your re-entry approved. On my name, if nothing else.
That would be
I
wonderful.
appreciate you bringing this to me. I do. I don't mean to sound unappreciative. I simply... Well, I'm currently at a loss with what to do with this information. If that makes sense.
Us too. When you're talking to LaCroix, maybe talk about how the weapons that you guys are developing could be used against yourselves as well. And maybe consider that. Just a thought.
I'll also take that under advisement. Thank you. Well, morbid topic at hand, I believe, temporarily at least, put to rest. Welcome to Yonkath. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Fate, also known as the Shield Maiden. Is there anything else I can do for you on this beautiful day?
Before she leaves, after everybody else gets out, whatever they want to say, I want to pull her to the side, away from everybody else, especially away from Tior.
Nope,
Is
that's
anybody
all.
gonna bring anything up?
That's all I wanted. Just don't kill
Yeah.
anybody, okay?
Just play nice.
I
I'll
will
do my
definitely
best.
introduce myself first, and then bid adieu.
All right. Well, saying your brief goodbyes, she begins walking back towards the Scarlet Hearth. Phelan following closely. Get several paces away, a comfortable distance. Phelan, you have her attention.
I would just like to say, my name is Phelan. I'm from a city called Grinloft. And the guard down there mentioned that you sort of specialize in, like, helping people find the right patron for them. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe that's one way of putting it. I can understand the confusion. What I do, I can hear the conversations. I can listen and be an observer to the deals being made and things like that. You have to understand, many people come here desperate to change their station in life, desperate for power, willing to do anything. And so many times they end up in a position worse than they began, even though they would never imagine it possible. And so what I aim to do is, when I overhear something like this, or when someone actively seeks my counsel and assistance, I listen in, and I know what kind of deals are struck and what a bad deal is, and I do my best to make sure people aren't taken advantage of. Now, that being said, it's still ultimately their choice. I'm more of an advisor of sorts. Thankfully, my reputation carries some weight, and people often, well, more often than not, heed my advice, but not always. But that is the limit of what I do. I can't actively seek patrons or forge pacts myself, just protect people who can't really protect themselves.
Okay, in my city, my mother was the spiritual guide for our people before she died. And I am potentially the next in line to take over that position if my brother doesn't complete his task here. And I was wondering if you had any advice for someone who might one day find herself in the position to need to help people find a patron, or give them advice on the types of packs that they might seek, or if they came seeking any sort of advice, any words that you might say to help them, just so I can be the best that I can try to be in lieu of my mother, who's not here anymore.
Well, we should sit down while you're still here, or in the near future. And that is a topic that requires extensive conversation, but the most universal and simplest advice I can give you here in the moment: make sure people consider what they already have. Too often people get wound up in focusing on what they want. They don't see anything else. But when you attempt to seek those things that you want, especially when it comes to forging a pact with a powerful patron, more often than not, you're putting at risk everything you already have. Taking that for granted is one of the worst mistakes you can make.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. And I'll just curtsy and turn back to my friends and walk back over.
As you turn, she kind of, take care. And she kind of trails off and walks back into the Scarlet Hearth.
Like, okay, I'm ready to go. I don't know where we're going, but I'm ready.
Oh no.
Well, as a DM, as a Joey, to my players, do with this information what you will. I just would like to remind you, because a lot has happened, that you all did get offerings for your patrons, and I thought that's why you all came here. You still have them, and you guys can do something else. I just want to make sure you didn't forget that y'all spent that money and stuff like that. So, FYI.
Basically, I did forget, so.
I do still want to take my offering to my patron.
Yeah, same. So let's walk back in there.
Slowly be like, we have permission. Here's our permission slip. It's signed by Fate.
Yep. Exactly.
Ona's
Fate, that'd be
gonna
cool.
Ona's gonna sit outside and like kind of watch the door because A, she doesn't want to go back in there because it smelled gross, and B, she just wants to watch the door and make sure that no sketchy people or anything are gonna come through that door, and if they do, then Ona can follow them and make sure her party's okay.
I ain't
Anybody
going
else?
back in the fucking inn. What the hell? No. Piss on my patron.
Okay, will it just be?
Legitimately my position.
Will it just be
I
me and
see.
Mira then?
Exactly. Phelan and I go arm in arm.
Yeah.
So.
I'll go behind. I want to be there. You know, third wheel in it.
Okay. So, you three, is Tior going in or no?
Teal will probably go in, but he obviously doesn't know who his patron is, so.
He just wanders around in circles with his
That's
necklace out.
Okay. So, re-entering the Scarlet Hearth now, the four of you, the guards quickly notice you, and as you're walking in, the one furthest away near the stairwell, you see Fate is just now walking down, and with a start, a loud audible jostle of his metal clanking armor, he starts in your direction with that "the fuck you are" look. Fate sees this and puts a hand up and speaks to him, and he settles down and stares at you for a moment before kind of harumphing back and standing his position against the wall.
When that happens, I'm going to point at Fate and just cast message and just say thank you.
Got it. All right. So, you're very unfamiliar with this place. Don't really know how any of this works, but again, there's that ring of a platform around. In the center, there's that wide open space that there's a couple dozen people in, tranced, and then there's all these doors, and it appears, like I said, it appears to be one door for each archetype. Not a domain, because that's a cleric thing, but for lack of a better term, domain of patron. So, what do y'all do?
Mira, do you need someone? I mean, would you like me to come with you to your patron? Do you want to see how this place works together, or?
Yeah, let's figure it out together, but let's go to yours first.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Okay, I will look for whichever door looks like it's the Archfey patron door.
Okay, just for fun, you probably figure this out, but just for fun, go ahead and give me an either insight or arcana check with advantage.
That is a 23.
Pretty straightforward. So, the first door to the left, you notice this exquisite carving of a multi-antlered stag with 6 legs upon it. And judging by the fact that the next one down has this horrifying and yet beautiful depiction of a dragon, and then something that's akin to a squid and octopus, and so on. You look at all the other ones, you get the sense that if any of them are Archfey, it's probably this one.
Okay, I will beckon Mira and be like, I think it's this one, and I'll go over to the door and walk through.
Okay. Katori, Tior, as I know Mira's going in, correct, Mira? Katori, Tior, y'all going in?
I'm in. I'm good for right now. I will go over by the people entranced, and then what are the sounds like in here? Is it like I don't want to say choir music, obviously, but is it something going on in the background? Is it just the smell? These people
the amount of people in here it's kind of a disjointed feeling because there's so many bodies, and yet it is so quiet. The people that are kind of entranced, some of their mouths are moving, some of their eyes are open, some are closed, some are still, some are making small gesticulations, but there's no sound coming out of any of it.
I'm gonna not join them, but I'm definitely gonna just like be in awe right now and see what's going on over here. See if I can figure it out.
Okay, where are you just gonna hang out on the outside? Are you gonna go down there and check them out?
I'm gonna go down there and check them out.
Okay, good to know. Tior?
What would Tior do? Would he go in?
Tior, what would you do?
I think he would.
I feel like
probably go in to see if he feels any different change of connection to his necklace.
Fair. All right. So, as you three approach the door, Katori, you kind of veer off and you take a couple of hesitant steps towards the edge of that ring, towards the central area. You take a few steps, and then at the last moment, you see that arcane mist revolving around their ankles and knees. You kind of take a deep breath and step into it, expecting something, although you have no idea what. Nothing happens. You walk towards the center, and you get this slight misty, kind of humid feeling around your knees, but for the moment at least, you're standing amongst a bunch of entranced people. You three at the door, Phelan, you just kind of reach out to push the door to the side or see if it swings inward out, where you're not really sure because it's relatively nondescript slab. But as you reach out and touch towards it, it kind of shimmers for a minute and then kind of dematerializes, sparkling outward to become an opening. And beyond this opening, you see a quiet, serene, almost idyllic forest landscape. There is a dirt path beyond the doorway. On either side, there are these tall, tall trees, and in the distance, the lowest part of them, you can see a bit of kind of pine needle-like leaving on them, except it's silvery with this strange greenish sheen to it. And then on either side of the path, there's these beautiful, aromatic, large flowers of every different shape and size you could find.
I will walk in, pulling out the item that I brought for my patron, which I imagine is a little fox skull with flowers engraved into it. I don't know how much that would cost me. Probably a lot.
It's probably no more than silver, unless you wanted to intentionally buy something expensive.
I wanted to get the most expensive looking one that I could find that wasn't like over 10 gold.
Okay, well then you came out pretty good with one that was really, really marvelous compared to the other ones around it for 2 gold.
Okay.
Just FYI. All right, so you proceed down the path with Mira and Tior following closely behind you. Before long, the path opens up into this regular kind of oval-shaped opening in the tree line. The flowers here grow much shorter and they're smaller, but they're still just as aromatic and beautiful. There's a little bit of a stream going beneath the trees on the far side, kind of encircling the left half of this. And in the center, you see kneeling down, or lying down as it were, for this type of a creature, this very, very large, multi-pronged stag with silvery fur with a brown undercoat and 6 legs folded up underneath it. And as it turns to look at you, you see 3 eyes in its head. You get a sense of peculiarity, but also of peace entering this majestic environment.
Okay, I will approach slowly and I guess leave my companions behind unless they want to come closer with me.
Mira
And
will
I will
pass on joining.
I will hold out the skull and kneel in the ground in front of the stag and just say mentally, I am here to give this to you, to my patron. And I would just think up an image of her, a scary one, and then say this is the first time I'm trying to talk to you like this. I hope it works.
Okay. All right. So you get the sense that you should kind of either not sit, but either squat down or kneel and place this in front of the stag as it kind of bows its head to you. And as you do that, you slowly rise back up and take a couple of steps back. And the stag gracefully and quietly kind of gets up on all 6 legs and turns its head to the left, turning its head to the right. And then it kind of bows towards you once more and then slowly walks out of the clearing to the left-hand side. After a few seconds, the stream that is running around this to the left side where the stag disappeared, out of the stream behind it, you see not a creature so much as an embodiment. The entity rising up out of the water, dripping off of its shadowy form, you do see it's kind of a dark silvery, dark gray cloak that's shimmering in the sunlight. And dangling from it in many, many places are thin strands of what appears to be hair tied around 5 or 10 or 2 bones and skulls and things of various shapes and sizes. The long arms coming down from its body you don't see hands, as the sleeves on this magnificent, slightly morbid cloak extend fully past them, and the hood over the head is concealing a face there, if there is one. Rises up out of the water, 8 feet tall, and kind of glides over the ground in your direction. Its arms extend downward as it leans over and picks up the gift and slowly brings it in towards its chest, where it disappears through this translucent cloak for a moment, and then its arms once again lower down to its sides. It kind of sighs or breathes deeply, if breathing is such a thing that it does. And once it releases, it extends the arm out, the arms on both sides out, and it slowly glides back towards the stream. But as it does so, the scene behind it changes. Revealed now to you in this forest clearing, you see an elderly deer lying down next to what appears to be a grave, a hastily dug grave of some type. The elderly deer, it looks natural for all intents and purposes, but you know it's elderly by the gray in its coat and the white by its nose and the fact that it looks kind of frail and sick. And then you see 2 young deer come out the right-hand side in the forest and slowly approach. One of them kneels down next to the elderly deer and kind of nuzzles its side, while the other one goes over to the hastily dug grave and rubs its snout in the dirt a little bit, and then it kind of jolts like it's shocked, and then it looks left, looks right, and then it starts scampering around the clearing, trying desperately to do something. Like it's alarmed, it's scared. Meanwhile, the young deer and the elderly are still there, comforting each other, seemingly. And the elderly deer closes her eyes, and with a heavy sigh, lowers her head on the ground and stops moving. The young deer, after a moment's pause, stands up and then slowly grows and grows taller and taller. And when it's full grown, this young female deer has a coat that's kind of shimmering gold. It turns and faces you, standing tall, standing almost defiantly. Meanwhile, the entire time darting around, this other young deer has also grown, but now from all the scrapes of running through the brushes and against the trees, its body is cut and bleeding and bruised. It's bleating out incessantly, making this miserable noise. And it comes to stop in front of the other one who stayed by the elderly deer, and they look at each other for a long time. The one standing proud lowers its head a bit, and the one that is cut and bruised jolts back for a second, and then darts off into the brush and out of sight. And then the vision fades, and you are once more standing alone with your two friends in this serene, idyllic forest clearing.
Oh, that's so sad. I will just say I'm really trying to do what you told me to do, and I spoke to someone today who I think could help me with what you said that I needed help with. And I think it's gonna work out, and I feel a little better. And then I'm gonna just nod and then wait for another second and then turn around and walk back to my friends and walk out.
Okay. Jump back to Katori. Katori, standing here amongst these entranced individuals, you don't feel anything. And so the best you can figure, this has got to be one of those weird warlock things. And you kind of wish that you felt it would be appropriate to play some music or something just to break the abject silence of this area. You kind of look left and turn around, and you feel a nudge behind you. Turn around, thinking everybody was entranced, and the peculiar individual standing in front of you. He's wearing this kind of opulent top hat with a large red ribbon and brown velvety base to it. He has a long goatee, and it's braided down, and then holding it together are 3 small little golden dice. The long mustache comes down and sweeps out, and the ears are kind of pointed and rounded, a little bit too large for his head, but it most notably has these almost squarish, sharp, intelligent eyes. His coat is flamboyant with red and streaks of orange down each sleeve and a golden tie with a green undershirt. His breeches, although brown, are very finely tailored and kind of flow as he softly rocks left and right, his gloved hand flipping a coin, kind of teasing you a bit. Well, hello there, friend.
Hello. What are you doing down here with these, you don't look like you fit in.
That's a hell of a thing for you to say. You don't look like you fit in.
I chuckle at our banter.
Why are we here then, if we don't fit in?
To figure out why?
We don't know why we're here, so we're here to figure out why.
Yes.
I've heard stranger things. So are you looking for something? Are you looking for someone?
Nothing in particular, but here you are. Were you looking for me?
Oh, not really. Just figured you look kind of bored. Might want to play a game.
Yeah. I'm always down for a game.
What's your fancy? Dice, cards, sticks?
We'll play cards first.
All right. Well, stakes or just a friendly match?
We'll do stakes.
Stakes. Well, you pick the game, you pick the stakes. What'll it be?
Gold a hand.
Gold hand. All right. Let's play. And time kind of stretches and then snaps like a rubber band here. You don't remember so much laying individual cards down as you remember playing multiple hands and laughing and coin going back and forth between you two, and then you switch to dice, and then you switch to sticks, and then a couple other games he taught you and you never really understood. But the whole while you could hear music almost dancing in your head, the tumbling of dice, coin getting flickered and shining in the light. Let's see how you did first of all, and give me a skill check with your gaming set.
All right. I don't actually know how to do that.
Okay, well, I'll put it this way. Give me either an intelligence or a dexterity check. Pick your poison. And add your proficiency modifier.
Alrighty.
Which is probably going to be at +2.
Yep. So 19.
Yeah, you rolled a 9 overall. Well, it has been fun. And it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Katori. I didn't expect to find a fellow dice man here. But I have to be going. I have many people to see. Well, I guess all the time in the world to see them, but I like seeing people. So take your coin. I'll see you around. Just remember, if you're ever in a bind, call for Amadan, like we discussed. He flicks you a coin. The platinum spins in the air and lands neatly in your palm. And as you look up from it, you realize he has disappeared.
Well, I'll be smiling when I leave this place. So I will walk back out.
As you're walking up the stairs outside of the ring, you see Phelan, Mira, Tior come out of the entryway.
Definitely walk up to them and join them back up. Was it everything you thought it would be?
It was something, I suppose. How is it out here? Did you figure out what those people are doing down there?
Actually, no, I did meet someone though. He's a very flamboyant character. Amadan. He said if I ever needed anything to call on him, but I still don't know how I'm supposed to call on him. Well, I'll figure it out, I guess.
Did he give you
What?
Did he give you his name?
Well, that was his name, Amadan.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you just say his name and he'll just hear you somehow.
3 times. Click your heels.
Yes, click your heels. Yes. Shout it from the rooftops.
I did have a fun time though. We played all sorts of games. Dice, sticks, cards. It was a lot of fun.
That's good. Mira, did you want to go see your patron now?
Yeah. While this conversation is happening, I'm trying to discern which door I need to go into for the Great Old One.
Give me a insight or arcana check with advantage.
All right. 14. I rolled 2 13s, so that's good.
Okay. Some of these doors are a little peculiar. For example, there is a praying mantis door. It has two large, his arms are kind of embellished, almost look like blades. And you're not entirely sure what to make of that one, but pretty sure it's not the great old ones. And you do remember having seen depicted in art, especially here around Yonkath, great old ones typically are associated with snake-like iconography. And appropriately so, there is this massive coiled snake that twists around itself 7-8 times before coming back to bite its own tail, symbolizing this convoluted, twisted, eternal symbol. You figure this is probably your best bet.
I'm just going to turn to the group and say, you guys don't have to join me if you don't want to. But I'm pretty sure this is the door. And walk up a bit.
I mean, I'm interested in seeing if you're willing, but if you're not,
welcome. You're more than welcome to. I just don't want,
Okay.
You don't want to. No pressure.
I'll go.
Mira's clearly like a little bit shy about it. So.
My father has a. Your patron is a great old one. Is that right?
Yeah.
Something like that. My father had one of those, so or has one of those. He's still alive for now. He has his patron is one of the great old ones. So I'm interested to see that.
Yeah.
For him.
You're more than welcome to. What about you, Tior?
Tior's like, yes, I absolutely would like to see the great old one patron.
Tior wants to see every freaking door if he
Tior
could.
is like, let's walk in through all of these doors, even though we aren't patrons.
Tior, wasn't that the first one that you tried to connect with? Was an old one?
I think you just grumbled.
While we're walking up to the door, I'm gonna get out the black diamond thing that I got. That I spent the same amount that I stole from Tior. That's what I used the 3 coin that I stole from Tior and purchased that.
All right, so you approach the door, and similarly, as you push your hand out to attempt to open it, it kind of dissipates, crackling in this strange energy around you. Except beyond the door, it's almost as though there's nothing there. Not a wall. Actually, nothing. Or, no, something, because it's pitch black. And black is something. Or is black the absence of anything? An empty void. You're not quite sure. It's kind of disconcerting. What do you
walk
do?
forward.
You step forward through the doorway, and your foot hits nothing. Stumble through, but there's nothing to support your feet. But you're also not falling. You're just there. Something in the nothing. What are the rest of you doing?
Following?
Yeah, I'll follow. Walk in.
So you all also likewise kind of half stumble through this doorway. And as you do, the portal behind you dissipates. And you're surrounded by nothing. But then, slowly, tiny specks of light begin to dot the surrounding area in a spherical pattern all around you. And before long, you get this peculiar sense that you're kind of floating in an impossibly large night sky. Stars, dots, whatever they are, get larger as they kind of coalesce closer around you before they kind of reach a maximum zenith. And then slowly, you see this large obelisk-like crystal, shimmering and multifaceted, reflecting the rainbow-colored hue of light, although there's no direct light upon it. slowly, ever so slowly rotating in the void just in front of you. What are you doing?
I'm gonna move closer to it. But not touch it. Like, I'm really tempted to touch it, but I'm not gonna touch it. But in my head, I'm thinking, should I just touch it? And then just saying in my head, I want to be a better follower, and I need you to show me the way. So I'm here to learn. And just kind of hold out my offering.
You feel the weight of the offering lift off of your hand as it slowly rises. Starts to spin just a bit, and then it kind of trails off under its own power, seemingly, into the void beyond. As it disappears from your sight, you see this obelisk-like crystal expand ever so slightly and then turn sideways. And then this small arcane crack of light shoots up the middle and splits, leaving two halves. They splinter. Tiny flecks of crystal disperse into the air around you. In their wake, as the crystallic dust clears, you see two figures, each gently flapping their wings in this airless space. On your right side, you see a depiction of you with slightly longer hair, feathered wings with traces of gold and silver upon them, fair skin, rosy-cheeked, silvery armor, kind of shimmering in an arcane fashion. And on the left-hand side, a version of you with dark wings. Red detail featherwork on the very edges, but you can also see bits of bone protruding throughout. Your hair here is darker a bit, your eyes a little bit sunken, but you also seem to possess this kind of strength, not of your own, a kind of wiry power, this entity, dressed in a relatively simple cloak of sorts. And then, appearing out of the nothing in front of you, a small pedestal made of crystal, rising up. Then a beam of light shoots out the middle, slowly coalesces, and then elongates to this shimmering crystallic sword. What do you do?
I'm gonna reach out to the sword. Just to see if it's like really an object or if it's just like an illusion. Like, obviously there's nothing, so what's happening? Trying to discern that.
You reach out to the sword and you grasp the handle, and it's firm. It has substance. At least it feels like it does. It has weight to it as you lift it off the pedestal. It slices easily through this environment, and the pedal lowers and then dissipates. And these two mirror images of yourself, starkly different contrasts, slowly drift closer, ever so slightly, beating their wings. Then they get within arm's reach. Both of them descend just a bit, and then lower their heads towards you.
Yeah, I felt like that was coming. Okay, I'm gonna take a second and just like kind of close my eyes. Just think in my head. What are we trying to be? And I will slash at the lighter one, not the one that seems to have strength from other places.
Give me a charisma check, please.
Okay. Charisma's good. Dirty 20.
Okay. Now give me a charisma saving throw.
Okay. Yeah, that was not so good. 10.
You lash out at this entity, this image of yourself. As you bring the sword to bear, it makes contact, and then a flash of light. The image crystallizes and shatters before you. The sword itself now broken in half with a jagged edge. And the darker version raises its head and slowly drifts backward out of view.
Okay, I'm just gonna put the sword down on nothing.
You let it go and it kind of falls endlessly spiraling down away from you.
I'm seriously hoping that my people with me did not actually see all of that, but I obviously have no idea. And I just kind of back away. And in my head just say, what will be, will be.
As you turn around, seeing it, recognizing that you were kind of lost to reality in this moment, so intently focused on what was before you, you turn around and you do see Bjorn, Phelan, and Katori drifting aimlessly in the void behind you, very much aware, very much
Great.
present.
Ideal. Okay, I think we can go now.
And just behind them, almost as though you willed it into being, the doorway reappears.
All right. I just walk out and
I
say
want
nothing to anyone.
I want to run up to Mira, away from Katori and Tior, and I'll say, Mira. I saw what all that looked like, right? Okay, I'll just be like, Mira, your wings were so pretty.
Thank you. That's why I chose that one.
That was amazing! Wow! I'll just like gush about it like a teenager. Totally not aware that like she feels like bad about it or whatever. That she feels I'm like, that was so cool.
Well, as you four exit the doorway, and Ona and Vavnai are off doing, well, whatever they're doing, since y'all haven't been by them, and you gush about the glorious wings, and Mira smiles, maybe unnoticeably uncomfortable to you, but still smiles to your face. That's where we're going to take our break. Because it is 9:20, everybody needs to stretch and bio and eat snacks and invite their friends, and we will see you guys back in 5 to 10. All right? Don't go anywhere. Thank you for being with us. Love you guys. See y'all in a minute. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a nice little break and you are once again cozy, stretched out, tucked in, ready to go. Because I am. So, my friends, having experienced the Scarlet Hearth's special rooms to commune with your individual patrons, the four of you, Tior, Phelan, Mira, and Katori, stand there on the outer ring inside the Scarlet Hearth, while Ona and Vavnai are outside. It's probably only been a good 5, maybe 10 minutes or so, Ona and Vavnai. What were y'all doing in this time? Anything in particular? Anything you'd like to share or resolve?
Probably pointing out oddly dressed people and laughing at their choices in life.
I think that Ona would probably be, she would probably laugh with Favnai, but also not really know what he's talking about because everybody looks like they look funny to Ona. Because Ona's not used to, other people besides Favnai up until the past few days. So she'd probably be like, hey, and that one. No, not that. Oh, okay. Well, that one, right? No? Oh.
So I'm the funniest guy out there, according to what I think is going on.
You always think you're the funniest one out there.
I do. It's like, look at the guard. Really? Why are they
We're
accursed guard? Who calls himself the accursed guard? Really? You think he's sweating hard under there? You know, just silly, just banter.
We'll jump back inside real quick before they come out to meet y'all. So the four of you are standing there near the serpent motifed door for the Great Old One patrons. You have just exited with Mira kind of looking down and around before laughing a little bit awkwardly at Phelan and smiling. What are y'all doing?
I'll walk up. I'll walk up to her. Be like, so it went well then. Did you finish? Is it over?
Yeah, I think I did what I needed to do. I just keep glancing back at the door and kind of looking down.
Well, great then. Joyous day.
Is there anything else that we wanted to see here? I know everything else is patrons, but I didn't know if you were like curious about any other patrons or anything.
I have a question for actually both of you, if one of you may know. Have you all heard of a patron? Was it Amadan? Have you heard of this one?
Can Tior and I roll for that?
Sure. You can roll them separately or roll one of you with advantage. Up to you.
Okay. Let me see. That would be intelligence, or
you can make it history or arcana.
or
Pick your
arcana.
poison.
Okay, I rolled mine with advantage, and that was a 23 for arcana.
Yes. So, Tior and you, especially when you were younger, and Tior was attempting to really getting into first learning about all the various patrons, you all took a certain amount of interest in Amadan simply because his story was, well, pretty unusual and rather well documented compared to most of the patrons out there. Abaddon was not always known as Amadan. Amadan came as a young man to the Shadelands, probably around the same time that your people immigrated from the Feywild. He came there seeking, well, a new life and success. His name back then was Zeri Dantius. Now, one way or another, this part is lost to time. He ended up becoming involved with someone. He attempted to overplay his hand, stretch the limits of his luck, and lost. In doing so, he unwittingly, well, not really unwittingly, he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was risking. He ended up becoming bound to a patron. Over the years, he was able to free himself by gaining his own influence. He seeks to ensure that patrons who are currently somewhat bound, they are registered and they are bound to operate within certain parameters in Yonkath. Kind of a quid pro quo. If you want to do business here, you have to do it within the rules. And these rules are set forth by the accursed king. Well, Amadan doesn't like rules. And so he's been working to do that, kind of exert influence to allow more freedom. For good and for ill, doesn't matter, as long as it's more freedom. He's often considered a patron of gambled souls.
I will relay all of that. So he is a patron. He didn't always go by Amaden. I'll say his name, and he seems to not like the rules around here because all of the patrons have to follow the king and what the king says. So I guess he kind of loosens things up a little bit around here. I don't know for good or for bad, but I guess you just spoke to a patron. Wow.
Really? That is very interesting. I didn't think that no one would just become before me like that.
Yeah, I think from what I read, it said that he was bound to a patron. So I guess he's maybe stuck here? I don't know. But he likes to loosen up the reins a little bit, apparently.
And gamble for sure.
I'm just gonna turn to them and be like, we all have patrons now, right, Tior?
Right! I have two. 2 patrons is all you need. He clutches his necklace like tightly and grumbles a little bit.
Now, by this point, y'all would be exiting the building. And you see Ona and Vavnai outside, waiting patiently and snickering amongst themselves.
Do they see us? Do they point and laugh at what we were wearing?
I don't know, Vavnai. Do y'all?
Ona.
Ona?
You know, it'd be one of those like, and they're with us. They're with us. Yeah, not good.
When we're walking out, I want to be the one like walking at the end, and like right before I walk out, I'm just gonna take like a really deep breath, just like sit in everything that just happened, and then keep walking.
Yeah, I would just stretch and kind of finish the fish we were sharing as we were just talking and laughing and just kind of enjoying ourselves, a little peace and quiet. And are you all done? Are you ready?
I suppose we're ready. Do we know where we're going from here? Are we supposed to...
We're supposed to go to that tavern.
Oh,
Evermore
yeah, that's
stuff.
right.
I'm whispering this. I'm not saying Evermore really loud by any means.
The Evermore Tavern.
The E and the thing, and we gotta go across the bridge, whole thing.
That sounds fun.
But when we cross the bridge, watch your pockets, you know?
Yes, tie your pockets. If you have pouches, keep them on your front.
Are you expecting to be mugged?
Ona was mugged literally not even like an hour ago.
I was just a child playing. There's no real danger.
Imagine
there.
if they were an adult.
Oh, well, that's when it gets fun. Shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Yeah. So we'll brush ourselves off and start going on. And so, what did y'all see, do? Was it everything you
I
wanted?
met the patron.
Oh, have you? Is this your first time?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
You've
I'm
never
not a
met your
warlock.
patron before?
I'm not even a warlock.
Oh, I forget. You have no use. I mean, patron usage to your contract. You know the whole imprisonment, enslavement, horrible. Anyway.
That's right. I'm
So
not like you.
Did you form a new contract with a patron?
Of course not. Then I would be like you. I don't want to do that.
Ah! I like butt him with the head of my staff. The head's not moving though. No,
Thank you. Thank God. Jesus.
I just turned to Vavnai and Ona and asked, like, are you guys sure you don't want to go in there and visit your patron?
It's really very nice. It's very nice in there.
Nice.
If your patron's domain was just pure hell, death, and destruction, would you truly desire to visit?
Well,
I mean,
mine was just nothingness, so.
Yeah, mine was a lovely clearing with a nice deer, and then some more deer, and then some death, and it's
Yeah.
fine.
Phelan's was different than mine.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah, all good. So let's head on through.
Okay.
All right. I just want to check my bag quickly to make sure I still have that scroll and I have it shoved as far as I can in. Before we go across this stupid freaking
do not
river.
lose that scroll, or some little urchin is gonna have our get out of jail free card.
Exactly. This 12-year-old's gonna be walking around with it.
All right. So you continue on across the bridge to Patron's Pass, and then turn right and head towards yonder. Carefully looking about. I need everybody giving me a perception check to make sure that you guys catch any potential sticky fingers along the way, or look out for anything else.
A natural 20 for a 20 because his perception is +0.
Right,
And then-
perception. Sorry.
I got a 9.
Here I got a 7.
I'm glad to get that one out of the way. I got a 2.
I got a 14.
Yeah.
That's a 5 for me, but I do have passive of 12. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay.
You're a little distracted from everything that just happened.
All right. So your passage along Patron's Pass goes largely without incident. As you walk out, you are reminded quickly and harshly of the clerics shouting, of the warlocks shouting obscenities back and taunting them, and the frustrated, morose, accursed Gar stuck with this garbage detail, patrolling the bridge to make sure nothing outwardly violent or detrimental to the city takes place. Of note, however, and to your wouldn't, even though he rolled the highest, because he doesn't know what this individual looks like. Since Katori made it a point to talk about his passive perception, I will allow him to discover this. You do see, at several places along the route, and you really pick up on it like the third time because of your perception roll. You see a figure following you, or at least they appear to be following you, or maybe they're just traveling exactly the same. But you remember your friend saying something about purple hair, and that strikes you. There is in fact a woman who seems to be crossing your path several times in the same direction, although first on the right and then on the left and then on the right again, with long purple hair. Following a little bit as a distance, it seems to be. Probably a good 30, 40 feet back. Maybe kind of blending in, watching you.
I wonder if she went up, down before she went left, right.
AB plus start.
I wasn't going to finish it.
Thank you, Corey, for validating me.
I wasn't
You're
going to finish it. I wasn't going to finish it. Not going to happen. It's an old guy joke now, guys. We're old guys now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what just happened.
Yeah. See?
I figured you
I know what just happened.
Such greatness just happened right now on stream. Thank you all for being a part of that.
Sorry.
Well, I'm the one that told the party about the purple hair. Like, they told me what they saw, and then I told them who it was, so I would
There
know.
you go. Thank you. Yep,
who it is.
100%.
I will, every time I see her, I will point her out for the party. So not make it like a big grand gesture, but I'll just be like, look, she's on the left. And obviously, we see her more often. I'll not be solely focused on her, more as like there she is, and now knowing how people from their work be like, all right, now show the left hand, where's the right? Look over to the right hand side type of thing.
After we see her for like the 5th time, I'm gonna cast a message to her and just say, do you need something?
Bold move.
She looks in your direction, and you see a pretty pleasant kind of subtle but pretty pleasant smile creep across her lips, as though she's pleasantly surprised, or perhaps maybe a little proud, impressed. And she breaks from the obvious attempt at blending in she was doing, and she walks towards your group. As she does so, she comes up and she bows slightly, hair flinging forward and then coming back. No, I don't need something, but I thought maybe you could use some assistance. A way to make amends for earlier. If you don't mind. If so, I'll be on my way. I don't mean to intrude or grate your nerves anymore.
Assistance is always welcome.
What is it you believe we need assistance for?
What about earlier? What?
Hush, hush, Fab.
Take a nap for a second, haven't I?
Fine. Go sits down.
My sources have informed me that you are looking into something. And that you are attempting to recover certain items from a certain place. I have someone who may be of assistance in gaining entry to this place if you should need it and want it. I ask for a small percentage of the take, of course, for taking the risk, but aside from that, it is mostly to make amends.
How small of a percentage?
10%?
What's 10% of nothing?
Then nothing. If you fail, so do we.
Let's say 5% since you owe us.
Oh, spicy.
That is very generous. But I was already taking that into account. Otherwise, it would be 50.
So 7.
Make a persuasion check.
19.
All right. 7. But in addition, I need your word that you won't tell any of your benefactors who may or may not be employing you in this endeavor that we had anything to do with it.
That's fine.
Fair enough.
I put out my hand to shake her hand.
She grips it firmly.
I
Almost a
think
little bit too
about
firmly.
crossing my fingers, but I don't.
Cross your toes.
Very well. I will give my person your description, and when you are in the area, he will find you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We should talk about your business later, but we can do that at another time. We'll just keep going.
You know where to find me, as she fades off into the crowd.
I have no idea where to find her.
While I was down, I wanted to make sure, I don't know if she already faded off, but I was like, is she pickpocketing? What's she doing over there?
Give me a perception check.
You should know, they'd be like, oh, you caught me. Oh, darn. Oh, come on. What? Another 4. I didn't see shit.
You were... So when they said, go take a nap, you're like, ha ha ha, okay. And you were going to come off to the side to get a better view. As you were sitting there, unfortunately, your eyes did get heavy a few times. You couldn't quite see anything suspicious, but you can't be sure nothing happened either.
Yeah, I was keeping it, and I was watching the whole time.
You were our watchdog, absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's so appreciated, Vapnai.
Somebody help me stand.
I'll help him. He already rapped me on the head once.
Thank you. What? Nonsense. All right.
Okay, so I guess we continue onward to the familiar tavern.
What was that? Speak
To
up.
the insert tavern name here.
To the insert tavern name here to find insert familiar here.
To the Sammy's not here right now, and he's the one that takes all the notes here.
Oh man, we're gonna have to slow this train down.
You mean the
Yeah,
perch?
I know, right?
Oh,
When
never
when
mind.
Sammy's not present, you all have disadvantage on history checks.
Yeah, very true.
All right. So, continuing your way, you come to the end of Patron's Pass, there at the foot where it disperses out into yonder. Just as a simple reminder, yonder is providing a stark contrast to Catharak. Catharak, the portion of Yonkath you came from, is very orderly, very rigid, and also very dark and kind of somber. The Arcane Bazaar being a notable exception, a spot of activity and light, and the Gilded Gallery also a notable exception, with as bright and flourishing as it is the Knight Captain's seat of power in Catharak. But here in yonder, everything is like that and more. The buildings themselves seem to have been built almost, since they came up at the same time, it couldn't have been so, but it seems like the buildings here were built to rival and overpower those from Catharak. They all seem just a touch taller. They're all bright colored with flourishes and embellishments, and people walk around in more brightly dressed garb with smiles, and they speak more boisterously and more warmly. It's almost as though it's overcompensating in a way, or maybe it's just because you spent such time recently in Catharak that this is a little overpowering, and maybe this is how it's supposed to be, and Catharak is just really that morose. It's hard to tell, but either way, it is very different. However, to enter this glorious, flamboyant part of the city, you do see that you have to pass through a checkpoint. Several cursed guard members stopping people and asking them before either turning them away from yonder or letting them pass through. Coming up to this checkpoint, you're still a good distance away. There's many people here at the edge of the bridge seeking entry into yonder, explaining their things. So you have a moment if there's anything you want to do to prepare or whatever, and before you attempt to pass through.
I think this is our
scroll out of my bag.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think this is our time for our get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
Just
So I'm
don't
just
let
gonna,
them open it.
Like stand really strong. Like, yeah, I got this. Pull it out of my bag. And get ready to lie.
I
Well, we
want to
don't-
start listening to what they're telling the people that are getting in. You know, it's like, what are they doing? What are they saying? Are they trying to flash like some sort of magical something? Like, what's the admission that we're noticing as the trend? I guess the what seems to be the common theme to get through.
Okay, give me a perception check to see what you can make out in this hubbub.
Those have been going so wonderful.
Oh, you're tired. You're a tired old
You're
guy.
gonna get one of them. It'll happen.
Eventually.
All the bad
Does
ones
it look
out of your
like-
system.
Does it look
14?
packed?
Okay, what we 14 heard that. What were you saying, Katori?
I was saying, does it look packed? Like, does it look like there's room to push forward, like through the line?
There's 4 or 5 columns, and they're about 3 people deep as they're all kind of waiting their turn and getting flagged through. Each member, the 4 members at the edge of the bridge, are talking to individuals and things like that. Do you notice, Favni, what you have been able to make out this brief instance of approaching from this distance? Either it's people that live there and they are known to the guards because they pass through regularly, or they are people that are registered to have business or have purpose to come into yonder. And even those without explanation, they are simply being searched and they are being written down as being allowed entry, for lack of a better term.
No.
So it's not as though this is like cordoned off, no one allowed in. It's just controlled access. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
I think that we just need to tell them that we're here on official business.
I think we start by flashing our bracelets and then move to the scroll if we need it.
But are our bracelets going to look like a good thing or a bad thing?
Great question. Yeah, that's fair.
Do we still have those like little necklace things that they gave us to like show that we were working with them or something?
That is a good question.
As far as I know, you do.
There you go.
Okay, because I never took mine off.
Yeah, me too.
Multi-pass.
You got a lot of,
So
jewelry.
Tior-
I can keep track of all the
So
jewelry.
Tior now has 2 different necklaces hanging off his neck, is what we're saying.
Tior is accessoried out right
He's
now.
a fancy fuck, ain't he?
It has a little bit of frosting.
He's a prince.
He's like,
Yeah,
he's
so
like the guy in the Return of the Mummy, like bringing up all the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
This one, no. This one.
Now you need to give him the other jeweled necklace that we're supposed to identify. That's the next one.
He's
Hey.
speaking
He did
Draconic, all the other
identify it.
languages.
Yeah, so I say let's start with the jewelry and then move to the. I can't.
Yes.
Yeah.
But remember, they cannot open that one because it's blank. on
Right.
the inside.
I'm last in line.
I won't
So
let it
let's
come out
not
of
go
my
ahead.
hand. I'll just flash it. I'm
Okay.
What are we gonna say if they
I'm
ask
not
for
actually
it?
Strong.
What are we gonna say if they ask
Um,
for it? Just say like we were told. We would.
Oh, this is for someone else's eyes only. That's what it says.
Case top secret business. None of
Yeah.
your business.
Or hope that I can cast an
think
illusion
the
on it
medallion-
fast enough if they're opening it.
I think the medallion will work.
Let's try it.
Okay. Let's go.
All right. So Mira's leading the way.
We confidently are walking forward, but I have, I don't have the scroll out. That's hidden. That's just like in my bag.
All right. So you get in line and eventually make your way to the front, standing there confidently, as confidently as you can, making sure that the medallion is plain to see and the bracelet not so much. He waves you forward. He doesn't even look up, really. He has a scroll in front of him. He has the halberd strapped to his back, and he's looking at the paper. All right, what's your business?
We're here on official business, and I just keep trying to show him the chest.
He looks up.
Seems sexual, but it's not. I swear.
If
He
it
look-
works, it's sexual.
Right.
I was really tempted to roll to see how he takes that, but I'm not going to.
No, please. You can think I'm flirting with him. I'll find my soulmate too. It's the part of the story.
Character arc.
That would be funny. She's doing this to get the flashing of the medallion, and he's like... She's
That's our
another-
first one shot. Mira and the guard. A knight in Yonkath. He looks up and looks at the medallion. Official business.
Ona
Who
will
sent
Ona will kind of shout from the back and on behalf of the guard. That was my best Fina impression. Yeah, on behalf of the guard, we're on a mission, official business. No further details can be shared for your own safety, sir. I'll roll a charisma check. I'll do it.
Right. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm gonna need either a point of contact or something about what you're doing. Yeah, you do
Jared.
your job. I don't care. I don't want to do my. I got to do my job.
Jaren or LaCroix, the 2 higher ups in the guard, you could talk to them if you really need to, but we all have it. Jared gave these necklaces to us himself to represent our affiliation with the guard. We were sent to do some investigating that they didn't necessarily have the manpower to do.
He seems to have taken a little bit of offense to that. He looks back at you. All right, Lieutenant Jaren, and who am I docking in here?
My name's Phelan.
Hmm?
I'm Mira. Just Mira.
Mira.
It has an H in it, if you were wondering.
Mira. Mira,
Mira
with an H.
actually wants something to happen. Just see
I'm trying to make eyes.
All
Alright. Mira with an H, Phelan. Go ahead.
I walk through before he can change his mind.
Same.
Anybody else want to give me their name or turn around?
Katori.
How do I spell? Never mind. Katori.
It has an S at the end, but it's silent.
Katori with an S at the end.
I'm Ona, and this is Vavnai, my travel companion. He's old. Don't test him.
Are we at the candy store? I'll take 2, sir.
Ona +1.
And then my brother Tio as well.
Tio. Right.
I'll
All
offer
right,
him a
so-
fish.
No, thanks. Listen. We don't like any trouble here in Yonder.
Just 'cause I'm a bear? Excuse you, sir. I take great offense to that.
And quite all right. Just trying to
No trouble to be had. Let's go.
Oh, no. She's hungry, sir. You understand.
He has that look on his face where even there's like a fly buzzing around and you're trying to ignore it. He has that kind of look to his eye as he waves you past. However, as you continue on, you still glance over your shoulder, walking away, and his eyes linger on you probably longer than they should. But
I'm gonna
But
cast
you're in
message
Yonder.
to say we'll behave ourselves. And then keep going.
all right, so you are officially in Yonder. The scene has already been described and set before you. You need to find the Little Helper, a tavern which caters to the familiars here in the heart of the most wondrous part of Yonkath, or at least that's what the people of Yonder would have you believe. What are you doing? Where are you going?
To the Little Helper.
Yeah, do we know where that is, or do we need to ask people?
Well, they told you can't really miss it.
I
Okay,
guess
let's just
wander around until we can't miss
just
it.
find it.
Wouldn't
Blindly
dare
left.
to.
Yonder around, you know?
Oh no.
That was a good one. That'll be the promo for next week.
Yonder
That'll be the
around.
title.
Just
So-
let's yonder around, yandering around Yonkath. That is definitely the title, 100%.
All right, I need somebody to roll me a D100, and somebody else to roll me a D6.
I'll roll the d6.
I'll roll the 100.
I got a 3.
I got a 16.
Okay. So it's kind of hard to get your bearings at first, simply because everything is so loud and colorful. You can't really imagine how anything would stick out because everything is sticking out. But weaving in and out, going street after street, before too long, you do come across a large, kind of grayish building. But it's quite obviously the Little Helper because there is this arcane script just kind of floating above the doorway in this bright neon red color glowing that says the Little Helper. It's tall, it's kind of cylindrical with a beautiful parapet up top, and there are balconies on the front of the windows, and you see a couple of pseudo dragons and imps out there on the balconies drinking out of tiny cups on tiny little chairs with tiny little tables, and some of them are kind of calling out to the passersby on the street below.
Phelan is just absolutely amazed. She's like, wow, this place is so cool. Look how cute they are.
Watch out, you'll get the drink spilled on you.
Now, notably, especially in stark contrast to the really small familiars just above their heads. At the doorway, you see two very large, very stern-looking Aldenken bouncers.
Oh no, is that your people?
Yeah, I got it. And Ona will kind of like casually pretend to be cool and stroll up to them, but it just looks like really awkward, gotta pee waddling. and stroll up next to them and go, "Hey, what's up? Y'all, you have any room inside? I have me and some of my friends who are interested in going to hang out."
Fish.
I know how we are, and if you would like some fish, just as a gift, not a bribe, I've got you. I've got plenty. I just shopped like this morning.
You see they both look at you, and the one off to your left kind of lets out this deep and then turns and watches the street to his right. And the one that's closer to you, the one on your right, steps forward a little bit. So you're trying to bribe your way in?
I told you, it's not a bribe. Just a friendly offering. Between Caldenkind. It is the proper and right thing to do, after all.
Yeah.
Mama raised me right.
Yeah, but we're getting paid to make sure nobody that isn't supposed to be here gets in. And that's also the proper and right thing to do, because Mama raised me right, too.
Well,
Kind of like elbow Mira.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say from behind. Oh no, we're supposed to be here, and I'll pull out the scroll.
we have some business inside. We have a companion we have to come find and talk to.
He looks at it, leans back over. The king's business is not the little helper's business.
Says who?
Me? The one standing in front of the door?
We just have to get some information. So, can you let some of us in? We don't have to all go in. I know that we're all pretty big and there's a lot of us. It's a little overwhelming.
Tell you what.
While he's thinking, I want to pass a fish that I would have taken from Ona. And in the mouth, there's 5 gold coins. Are you sure you don't wish to have a fish?
Great, now we really are bribing them.
We're really not looking for trouble.
He looks at it, looks at you. Big meaty claw takes it, puts it in a fold that you didn't even see was there.
We all have one.
All right. The old one can come in. He looks harmless. Each one of you,
Interesting choice.
if anybody wants to come in, there'll be 1 favor each.
What kind of favors are we talking?
I get on his other side before they start, like, pissing him off in some manner of some capacity. I'm like, okay, excuse me.
I'm not saying it in a rude way, I'm just saying it in an inquisitive way. We're just saying there's gonna be a thing.
Oh. I don't know. That's the thing about favors. I call them when I need them.
Works for me.
Jake. He extends his hand out to you.
Alright, I extend my hand out.
He grips it, dwarfing your hand, and kind of pulls you through behind him. Any other takers?
You know what?
Ah.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the deal. Let's go. Shaking hands.
All right. Pulls you past him.
Okay, fine.
That's 3. Oh, it's 3. He says to the one next to him, and the other one kind of shakes his head and looks off up the street. Anybody else?
Ona will pull out. Oh, well, Tiora has to go, right?
Yeah, Tiora will probably follow me.
Good
Can
man.
our favor count as one favor since we're siblings?
Sure, but it'll have 2 parts.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no. You gonna go?
Yeah, Ona will take a fish out of her pocket, slap it in the guy's hand, and like, all right, I see you, and then just walk past him.
See what you did there. All right. So, all past the Caldinkin barrier to the door of the Little Hellburn.
Barrier, I get it.
The door the door kind of swings open freely with the lightest touch as you take in this unexpectedly tall tavern room. The ceiling's probably good 25-30 feet with very, very high rafters, and even in the rafters you see there's all sorts of little cushions and seats kind of strapped to it. As your gaze shifts from top to bottom up there, you have pseudo dragons and tressums and flying cats and winged monkeys, and they're up against the rafters, lounging against them, sleeping. Some of them probably drunk and passed out with one hand or tail coming over. There's over all the way across, there's a small stage, and there are several cat-sized spiders up there, and they're each playing 3 or 4 different instruments all at the same time, stringed instruments, having this nice melody that you didn't quite expect. Scanning from left to right across the room, the bar, the shelves, the tables, the chairs, they are all what would be the equivalent of child size to a full-grown humanoid, and imps and sprites and little tressums, closets, any manner of familiar you can think of, and all the various colors and languages, drinking, eating, throwing food. Is very, very raucous as these things, these creatures, these familiars, unburdened from the yoke of their patronage, seemingly come here to cut loose and cause no shortage of trouble amongst each other, completely attempting to tear this place down. There's another Caldinkin who you're not quite sure how he got in the door, because not height-wise, girth-wise, had to squeeze in or was teleported in one way or another. But he is on the near-hand corner, just kind of thumping his big meaty foot, and his furry arms are stretched across each other as he's busting out of his vest, looking over the entire establishment. Off to the left-hand side on the bar, it's got this really nice sheen to it. But someone in particular, perhaps someone that you're looking for, then again, there are many, many drunk imps here. Someone that you may be looking for. This imp sitting on a stool, slouched over, head to the side, looks to be passed out. His wings kind of flickering every now and then. And the sprite behind the bar, little black gossamer wing, long black hair with red streaks in it, is frustratingly cleaning up. Probably vomit came out of his mouth very recently, and she's kind of yelling at him, but he's not responding. Again, there are several imps here, but that one immediately catches your attention because he's over there by himself, whereas everybody else is relatively festive, party-like atmosphere. What are y'all doing?
Katori's gonna say, like, oh, you guys got this? I want to go check out the band.
Mira's gonna go order a drink before she does anything.
Oh no, we'll probably scooch past and make our way to the passed out drunken imp as well.
Phelan is going to be determining whether or not it's rude to pet a Trescent, if it's a familiar. She's going to be like, you're so soft.
No trouble. Wait till after. Edit all the way out. Just kind of
You're
so
mumbling
lovely.
back there.
Does anyone else want a drink or just me?
I'll have one.
I mean, I'll take one on my way, but I'm going.
Okay, I'll get the first round. I'll order the first round.
Okay. Phelan won't actually touch anything, but she's like, oh, they're so lovely.
Okay, so you come in the door, you take the scene in, and you formulate a little plan, converse a little bit, and start to disperse towards the bar. And Phelan is almost on the verge of chasing after a Trescent that walked by, well, kind of stumbled by actually, on its way to the right-hand side. But as you're walking forward, I need a d6 here. Tior, of all people, as you're walking forward, Tior kind of trips over this closet that, well, to his credit, was invisible until it got stepped on, and lets out a loud shriek as Tior stumbles forward and catches himself, and then all of a sudden, the music stops, and they're all staring at your group.
Hi, I'm Ona. Want some fish?
Our bad. Sorry about that. Did not mean to trip. Tior says.
I'm gonna bring in a drum because it looked like they were all string instruments, right?
Yeah.
Well, who cut the music off?
Yeah, Babnett starts tapping his cane like,
Anybody else?
do something.
No, I'm definitely gonna take over his tapping with the drum. All right, that tapping's gonna
Okay.
be.
I'm like still inching towards the bar if I can be.
If I can,
Yeah.
with my bardic inspiration here.
Ooh.
I would like to resume like the beat with the drum to get them to start playing again.
Okay. You two give me a performance check, or you with advantage, Katori, if you want to play it that way. And Phelan and Ona, y'all combined for a persuasion check. Let me know how this goes.
Woo!
And Mira, you give me a stealth check.
I was gonna say Ona does her introduction and then just like keeps walking towards the imp.
That's a 25 for performance.
Wow. Okay.
I got a dirty 20 for persuasion.
I got a
Holy
dirty
shit.
20 for stealth.
Holy shit. Okay.
We know when to step up. It's never,
Obviously-
when we're gonna
obviously.
die.
It's when we're surrounded by things that are much smaller than us in a room full of children's furniture.
It's when we're out cute.
Mortal circumstances, not so much. Social awkwardness, oh yeah. Okay. So Katori and Vabna start doing did you, and Ona's walking, and Mira's kind of like staying behind Ona so that nobody else can see her. And after 10, 15 very, very long seconds, the closet that Tior stepped on kind of shrugs and laughs and shouts out, and the band on the stage starts picking it up again. So, Ona and Mira are on their way to the bar. Anybody else doing anything?
I will be tagging along behind Mira to go to the bar.
Yep.
Tior is probably pulling out his flask of sobriety, his tankard of sobriety right now.
Right?
I'm gonna join in with the band if they didn't join in with me, and I'm gonna play with them. You know, maybe sprucing it up a little bit.
Okay. All right, well, you give me a solo performance check to see if you can earn some coin and tips here. Davina, you doing anything? Following the people at the bar or doing something else?
I'm just tapping along with the beat and just kind of, I've never been in a room full of familiars. This is actually quite fascinating.
Soaking
And I
in the
actually
vibe.
resist the urge to pet some of them as well. Like I was telling her not to do it, and I'm just like, this is kind of cute. That's a cute one. I've never. That is real.
Okay, so what was your performance check, Katori?
That was a 13. Not as high, but it's okay.
Okay. All right. Well, by the end of this, for your troubles, you'll have another 4 silver worth of tips. It's pretty decent. Pretty decent.
Hey, I like it.
All right. So the rest of you make your way up to the bar, and there's this passed out, clearly inebriated imp. He has like this mottled green and brownish appearance to his skin. Has a relatively thin, simple leather jerkin with a horizontally blue, navy blue and white striped shirt beneath it. And he's wearing these small little silvery grayish kind of fabric pants. But he isn't noticing anything. The sprite behind has since gotten done cleaning up the mess. Kind of comes back a little bit and then flies up, her black wings shining in the torchlight. Yes? What'll it be?
Can we just each get one beer? What does anyone want to drink? And one for our friend over there. And I point to Katori.
Hey!
Okay. She spins up and goes back. Comes back. 4 copper. And she has these small, tiny, they're like shot glasses, except they're like regular sized glasses for them. And she puts them out in front of each of you.
Alright, I'll give her 5 copper. And just say, keep them coming.
Okay.
Ona wants to poke the imp guy and see if he's like super out. And kind of like you know when you like play with someone's face while they're asleep? She's gonna kind of do that and see how out he really is.
Okay. Gently poke. Gonna pull the face back a little bit, revealing these really, really sharp teeth. He's missing a few of them. And the tongue is kind of like stuck between the teeth there. And he kind of absentmindedly swats his hand at yours. It doesn't do anything, and not nearly enough force to move your hand because it's so tiny, but kind of swats at it and doesn't seem to wake up though.
Does it look like he has anything on him? Like I don't want to rob him or anything, but I just want to make sure like if he has any weapons or anything, he's not gonna be a danger to himself or anyone else in the bar.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Oh, this was a mistake. Okay, that is a 7. He's
Okay.
too tiny for my giant hands and eyes.
Well, you give him a once over, but the smell of that acrid, sour smell of vomit still heavily in the air. And because you're so sensitive, your eyes are watering up pretty bad and it's hard to make out any details. But nothing is apparent. He's kind of in such an open space. If there was like an obvious dagger or something, you would see that. So if he does have something, it's at least relatively hidden.
I want to ask the barkeep if is he normally like this? Is this a constant state? Is this normal?
No. Yeah. He comes here a lot and drinks a lot, but never gets this smashed.
Does he have anybody to like go home with, or does he have like a house nearby that he goes home to?
No. What he said, old Sarvish is dead. He's got nothing. Probably why he's like this.
Do you know when he fell asleep?
I think he had 13th, 14th, probably a half hour ago.
Well, well, he doesn't have anyone take care of him, and he doesn't have anywhere to go. What would you have done with him? Or what are you planning on doing with him when you, like, close up and stuff?
See him? And she nods over to the Caldenkin in the corner. Take him outside. Back in tomorrow drinking anyway.
Would you be okay if we took him outside? We're not trying to hurt him.
Take a persuasion check.
We just want to ask him questions. Okay, persuasion.
We just want to kidnap this familiar.
Yeah, that's like, hey, can I take this drunk person off your farm? Person I don't know.
That
we don't know.
is.
Can we take this person that we don't know clearly because we don't know where they live?
Yeah.
That is an 11. And based on Ona's social skills and that the Caldenkin are a little bit different socially than everyone else, she doesn't see anything wrong with that statement. If he was,
100%.
If he was gonna go outside anyway.
100%. I was commenting on the perception, not the intent.
Yeah, that was an 11.
No, I can't have people just picking up people out of the tavern and taking them. No.
Well, who's gonna make sure he's alive?
Once he's outside, he's not my problem. But while I'm here and open, he's my problem.
I guess that's
I have
fair.
a question, DM.
Yeah.
Sorry for cutting you off. If I play my Song of Rest, can I use it to counteract drunkenness?
I think it's just to restore hit points.
I know what it. Yeah, I know what it's
maybe
used.
for fun. Give me an Arcana check so you can try and focus your energy in that way. It'd have to be a really, really high roll.
That's 15.
Not so much. Everybody around you seems much more lively and energetic now, but it doesn't counteract the poison and passed outedness. But the song's doing great. Like, really great. Even Vaveni's not tired anymore.
Wild.
That's very unusual.
Can I ask?
That sounds wrong.
Can I ask if he finished paying off his tab or if he still owes things?
He's had a tab here for weeks.
But is it paid off?
No, not even close.
How much does he owe?
Let me see.
He flies down behind the bar. You hear over the music, barely, you hear some shuffling around of papers and things. He flies back up.
Sarvish guaranteed him up to 15 gold. He passed that up 3 days ago.
Well,
I've had a windfall. I could pay it.
it's just 15 gold. And Ona will...
It's 18 gold.
Oh, well, it's
He
just...
passed it 3 days ago.
It's just 18 gold, so Ona will pull out... Ona will pull out 20 gold and give it to her. And tell her, well, thank you for the information. This'll cover his tab and maybe a couple more nights, assuming he'll come back. And I guess we'll just wait to see if he'll wake up, afterwards or not.
This is all.
She quickly takes it and squirrels it down underneath the counter where you can't see anymore and pops back up and instantly starts pouring 4 more shot glass-sized drinks.
Mira takes her shot of beer. Not loving the size of the drinks here. It's been a day. I need more alcohol.
Are we going to stay here till close, or are we going to go get a room and come back? This place doesn't.
I'd hang out.
I'll hang out for a while. And after, the song dies down, or when I get tired of playing, I'll definitely, find other things. Maybe another way to wake them up.
So yeah, so basically you guys can stick around and see if he comes to while it's open, or you can wait for him to be tossed out, or you can come back, or you can find a way to wake him up on your own. Those are the options as I see them, outside of the blanket always do some random other thing. So what are y'all gonna do?
Has anyone tried calling his name yet?
That's a negative.
Is that like Rumpelstiltskin? Like you just say it?
I poked his face a lot. He is alive.
That's good. We need him alive.
Do we even know what his name is? I didn't write it down.
Classic.
I'm pretty sure, Sammy has it.
Sammy!
Tior says, "Oh, I believe it's Wretch."
Wretch!
Mona's just gonna, like, go into the little imp ear with her giant schnoz and just whisper, Wretch! Wretch, wake up!
Suddenly, you feel this ever so tiny hand against your face as he jolts up and looks around. Sarvish! Sarvish! Where are you? Sarvish!
Hi, Wretch, I'm Mona.
Tior, give him some of your drink.
You're not Sarvish.
No, I'm Mona.
Should we tell him that we're here to help him find out what happened to his friend, his warlock?
He's turned around and he has ordered another drink.
Wretch, we heard from someone that you recently had a loss, and we were sent here to see if we could figure out exactly what happened to them so we could stop it from happening again.
I'm gonna figure out what happened. I know what happened. Fucking Evermore's betrayed him. Sorry bastards.
They betrayed him?
I say betrayed him.
But what did they... Do you mind saying, like, specifically what they did?
I don't know. I know they killed him. One minute I was connected, then I wasn't connected. And he was with them. Fucking killed him.
I'm very sorry to hear that. What are we trying to get from him?
We need to figure out what's going on with Evermore. So
Yeah.
whatever more
Where,
information
maybe?
he has. Yeah.
Where
Or
the
how
heat
he
was.
thinks.
When you were with your warlock, did you ever hear any of the Evermore say anything about the anomalies that have been happening? The time anomalies?
Yeah. He kept me bottled up in the city. No, that's right.
Okay. Anybody else?
Do you happen to know about those ever crystals that they're connected with, or that they control, or something?
Yeah, I know the fucking crystals. Like this? And he pulls out of his vest and shows you a silver pocket watch. Flipped open, and in the center of it, where the hands connect, is a small diamond-shaped blue crystal. It's glowing with arcane energy.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly like that.
crystals. Puts it back.
What are they used for?
How they channel their magic. That's all I know. They use them to do the thing.
How did you acquire that holy symbol there?
Holy symbol. I'm a cleric. Got it from Sarvish.
Savage.
Sarvish.
My master, he left it for me.
Yeah.
Found it after the connection was cut. House.
He left it for you.
That's what I said.
Are you sure
Why
the
would
connection means that he's dead? Or could the loss of connection mean that he broke his pact and he's no longer able to connect to you?
Is there a difference?
I don't know.
If
Is there?
you take a warlock's power, what does it leave you with, huh? You're a husk. Huh? You're just gonna flitter off into fucking nothing. Huh? That's the same with all you warlocks. All you want is your power. You want to be somebody. You want to control familiars. And then when you can't do that anymore, you just shrivel up and die because it's all you ever wanted. It's all you ever know. So
I
yeah,
just tapped
either
Tior's
they-
back. It's okay, buddy.
I don't care if they stabbed him or they cut him off. I'm not connected. He's fucking dead. And those assholes did it.
What do you want? No, none. What does the warlocks want? What would you like, Gretch?
Yeah, fucking nothing.
Oh, come now. We all crave something in this life. What is it you do?
Kill those bastards.
You wish to kill the Evermore?
The ones that did it to Starvish, yeah. They got it coming.
Very well. Well, help us then. Our goals align partly with yours, for we believe they are responsible for the temporal anomalies. And if that is the case, then many of them may swing for it.
How are you gonna do that, huh? Just gonna walk right up to the clock tower, huh? Point your finger in their face and ask them, did you do the bad thing?
I mean, I
Well,
was gonna punch him,
That's idea
but
number one, but we're coming up with other ideas if we could. It's a brainstorm session. No idea's a bad idea.
Could torture one of them into talking before killing them. I mean, there are many, many, many ways to ask someone a question and get an answer.
it all depends on how cooperative they want to be.
Yes. So will you help us?
Yeah, fuck it. Alright, look, buy me 6 more drinks and we'll fucking head out. Alright?
Hey, I mean, I already technically bought you too. I covered your
I
tab.
said 6 more
We,
drinks.
we covered your tab. Tior, do you have your drinks? Can we use your drinks? Just take out your fucking tankard right now.
Tior will give him his huge tankard filled with alcohol.
His eyes light up. This thing is half the size of him, and he's just like,
You can't have it, but you can drink out of it for right now.
Comes in pints.
Comes in gallons, buddy.
Alright. Just give me a second.
and he upends it. It takes probably a good 5 or 6 seconds. He gets it all, and you can basically see his stomach expanding as he's taking all this in. And he goes to stand up after slamming it down. He kind of falls back, and his wings flare out to push him up again. He's wobbling a little bit.
Hey. We got everybody. You ready to go?
Ready?
Ready as we can be.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 6 of you. This is gonna be exhausting. Alright. Hold your breath.
He takes out the pot watch and flicks it, and
Tio, make sure to grab his tankard before we poop.
you bamf out. You flash back into a different time and space. Not so much different time, slightly different time. Everything is darker around you. You are in Yonkat. You're on a street. All the buildings around you are dark and tall. There's a a couple of people to the left, to the right. The aurora is shining brightly against the black night sky overhead. Before you, tall, square tower, and up at the peak, massive clock face. The windows are lit, several stories rising up. And the doorway is made of stained glass, several hourglass shapes in it, and all the different segments of the stained glass, different colors, and they also have these different kind of ethereal shimmers to them. The door you see splits open too. But inside is this cool yet amber light. Stretch looks around left and right and looks back at the door.
Hey, with you?
Standing in the shadows, now coming into view, and then leaning up against the door, you see a mysterious figure that you've never met before. He has these brownish colored horns starting in his forehead and sweeping up and back. Long black hair, oiled and kind of well done, flowing about his shoulders. He's wearing a dark vest, maybe dark blue, dark gray. It's hard to see in the lighting. The edges are trimmed in gold. His sleeves are kind of parchment colored with more gold trim on the angled wrists. He's wearing a brown belt with red and then dark green pants going below. He's barefoot. His face covered by this kind of pearl and bronze ornate mask. As he leans against the door, cocks his head to the side, then the other side. Puts it back up in the middle. And his right hand comes up slowly, and you see light blue skin, dark blue fingernails. Reach up, face the mask, and slowly peel it away. Revealed beneath, you see long, blue, pointed ears with several hoop earrings in each one. Light, blue-skinned face with all sorts of ornate, curling tattoos in blacks and dark blues dancing all over and down his neck. Humanoid face. His eyes glow bright red. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. So, I hope you guys had fun tonight, because I did. Oh, man.
That was good. Good.
All right. Put the tavern music back on, because that was fun.
Well, we didn't
All right.
we didn't get Tiora patron, but we got Katori one. So
Yeah,
I mean,
Katori
we got
got
someone a
one.
patron.
yeah.
It's fine.
That's gonna be the first thing I tell them.
Yeah, just say, by the way, I got a patron.
I got a
we also all
patron.
died. You too.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Katori got like absolutely murdered, but also got a patron all in the same episode.
Oh my god. I got one shot to death.
Yeah, yeah.
One shot to death.
It was
That
quite
was just
amusing.
good. It was just good dice rolls, that's all.
No, that wasn't good.
Oh, man.
When I was adding it up, it was all bad. I was like, wait, that's like 40 something. Shit.
It was a hefty amount of damage. That was he had a strong hit. All right. Well, I hope you guys had fun tonight, players. Sammy, we missed you. See you next week. Viewers, thank you for sticking with us tonight. We hope you enjoyed tonight's session. We will be back live next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central to find out what is going on at the clock tower, who this is, Is Wretch really going to help or hinder? Who was this mysterious figure that Alios sent to help? And all sorts of other things. It's going to be quite the fiasco.
8 p.m. Central?
7 p.m. Central. Is a long, y'all. I've had a rough week. Like Thanksgiving, I've been so scattered. Oh my god.
Well, it took me a second. My brain was like, wait.
So yeah, it's not just me. Thank you for that. 7 p.m. Central, just like tonight. So yeah, we're gonna give some shout outs here. Had some new followers, new subscription, do some shout outs, and then we're gonna do a raid. But first and foremost, thank you for spending your time with us. We know it's precious. We really, really appreciate it. We hope to see you back every week. We do have a Discord if you want to spend time between sessions with us. And then obviously Patreon, social media, Twitch subscriptions are amazing. All that great stuff to support the channel so we can keep going strong and get bigger and get better and do more stuff for you guys and have fun doing it. That's what it's all about. So thank you. So let me see. We'll do some shout outs real quick. Real quick. Tonight, Lofties32. I think I know who you are. Thank you for the follow. Shantera, thank you for the follow. Bender Marshall, thank you for the follow. TQD9, I think I know who you are. Thank you for the follow. The Machine 13, way better than 1 through 12. Thank you for the follow. Jith _, thank you for the follow. And thank you for the subscription. Huge shout out for that. And then Faceless _COS. Thank you
Faceless
for
Cos.
the follow. Faceless _COS. Thank you. Very, very, very much appreciated. All right, so we're gonna do the raid thing. I'm gonna kick y'all over to Kai Bear, friend of the channel. Good person. Playing The Last of Us Part 2. Great game. He's a good dude. Please show him some love. In between this session and next session, don't forget we have archive stuff on YouTube so you can catch up on everything so far. On Patreon, we have recaps. It's a faster way to catch up, and you can also support the channel there. And don't forget to follow on social media and tell your friends about us, please. And thank you. We love you. You'll have a great week. See you next time.